Hello, everybody. It's Saturday again. I'm finally back. Get that switched over. Hemi Hog, good to see you, man. How's it going? I don't know if I've seen you in here. Oh, get the mic over here. Hey, Travis, what's going on, man? Boy, that mystery build's got me kind of wondering there. Dakota's timeout, man. Great seeing you. You're in a no timeout zone. 162, Shell. Hey, we got the doc in the house, man. It was great meeting you all. Wendy, great seeing you. Tim, the man. JB's Little Shop. Alan's Cars and Stuff. Mohawk 62, good to see you. Welcome aboard. John Motts, great to see you, man. Oh boy, I hope I didn't miss anybody. It's skipping through pretty quick. Rich GT350R, good to see you coming on over. Hemi Hog again. Buck does it. Haven't seen you in a little while. So, everybody getting settled in after the No Name Nationals? Big Block 402, great to see you, man. How's Candy Cane coming along? There we go. We got the regulars coming on in. Hey, John, how's it going?
Howdy.
What's up, BareRose?
Great to see y'all.
Can't see me. Can't see me.
And we're still a blank piece of paper.
What?
I tell you, that's more scary than a number on there.
Okay.
Yeah, when a number appears, you know what it means.
Okay.
We'll all kind of Ford there next year.
Yep. Ford's going to represent hard next year. I got a feeling. Even if we got to stick a Chevy in it.
Even if you got to put a Chevy in it.
The Mopars are going to have a target on their back next year.
Bring it.
Yeah. Team Ford had a rough go this time.
Hey, John, I did have a quick question for you.
What's that, man?
Do you have to tech to do the burnout contest?
I'd have to ask. Like, for instance, I know you're going to need a helmet. Will they let a DOT helmet fly in the burnout contest? Probably not. So I'd have to ask what's different because you don't have any ET standards.
Right.
I'm sure it would be a lot simpler. I mean, I can't imagine anything would have to have a cage for burnout or anything like that.
Well, it'll have a cage, trust me.
Yeah.
My mystery build, I'll let everybody know, is going to be for the burnout. That's all it's going to be for.
Yeah.
Way cool.
I'm looking for people to burn a house down on the burnout next year.
And I'll tell you what, this guy right here, he kind of set the bar for us. He didn't win it, but I'll tell you what, his show out there was pretty doggone good.
Oh, yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Got something to prove now.
Dakota, yes,
Mohawk.
you do. What kind of question is that? You're smarter than that.
Good to see you, Dizzy. And congrats again on that. You and Mopar, good Lord, that's a hard name for me to say.
Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans.
Minivans, yeah. Congratulations, guys. You guys worked hard at those front gates. And you made it there with a car.
Yeah, me and BareRose were walking.
Yeah, BareRose left in August to make it in time. So Dakota's asking a crazy question called, do you need all of your lug nuts to run 8th mile? Yes, you absolutely do. But let me show you what doesn't.
Oh, you
pass.
just need 1/8 of them. That's right.
Here's-
You just need 1/8 of them.
This is what you have to pass. This is not. Here's an example of what won't pass tech. This is an actual thing we've seen. I mean,
Oh,
you
good
can't
Lord.
even see the
Where's the
ends of
studs?
stud. I don't even know how it's staying on the car.
I think they use super glue.
Well, I don't care what they did. It's not going to pass tech. It's going to take a second.
I wouldn't trust that for anything.
No, you do. Because that's what I told
I
you.
wouldn't trust that driving down the street.
Well, you're stretching the stud in the seat of the nut. It's not. It doesn't even have anything to hold it on. So,
JB
Anyway.
Weld does have limits.
Even
If you've ever had a tire pass you, you'll make sure your lug nuts are on every time.
Dakota doesn't see why it matters because he's never had a wheel come off. Had a buddy of mine had the left rear come off going down the road one time at 50 miles an hour.
I actually carry a torque wrench.
It's interesting when you see that tire go by and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, that's weird.
my old boss lost a
Then you
left
realize it's your tire.
It went out through the field and he never did find it. He had to wait till winter time and all the weeds were flat.
See if
Yeah,
I can.
I don't want to pass my own tire on the interstate or anywhere. I don't know how a tire gets that loose before anybody knows something's wrong.
Well,
In a case like that, I could see it just. But I don't know. I'm particular about.
Well, I've seen 9/16 studs get sheared off at the track.
Well, that's one thing.
That's one thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
My chiropractor has a Corvette, and he was taking it in to get looked at because it was wobbling and pulling, and he was driving down the road and the tire fell off.
Oh,
Ooh.
there's LP. How's it going, Lars?
Corvettes are hard to hammer and dolly back into place.
Yeah.
They kind of explode.
Well, the thing is, if you do get a ding, you just keep sanding it until you get to metal.
I can get a good enough.
Ooh, that's a good one too. Yeah,
Ooh.
that didn't happen. And it was a GM.
Yeah,
Go figure.
yeah. Those C clips do break.
That they do.
I've seen that at the track. It was horrible. It was this really nice El Camino. It was like an 80s El Camino. And he did his burnout and he had a lot of wheel hop. Then when he pulled up to the line, he took off and had more wheel hop. And that passenger side axle just worked its way out. The car hit the ground, spun around, and the axle came around and hit the guy's radiator.
Whoa.
So it was like insult to injury.
I'm gonna see if this.
I
shows
wish I
up
had a
well.
video of it.
So you see the building there? It's kind of in the center. It's got the 18 wheelers parked around it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so if you're driving down that 4-lane road, down, you see going south. The guy that used to own my race car before me, he had a load of lumber on that trailer, and he was going down, and the wheel came off the left rear of his trailer, went down the road, hooked the left, hit the curb with no cars coming, and jumped over the fence into the place where that tractor and trailer shop is.
Dang.
Ooh.
It happened on a Saturday, and he said he went in there Monday because nobody was there, and said, well, we know it's yours because nobody could make that story up. We were trying to figure out how this wheel got in here. That's how it got in there. It jumped. It went. I can do this. It went down the road and jumped into that building.
Wow.
He said he was glad it waited until everything got out of the way before it turned. I'm just
That's
glad
wild.
it didn't happen when he had the car on there, because if that had gotten destroyed, that'd have been a big mess.
Yeah, wheel hop is brutal, especially on a sticky track like Sykeston was. Oh,
Yeah.
That track was so sticky Sunday morning, I couldn't walk on it to take the signs down.
yeah.
He'd sprayed it again, make some test passes Sunday morning. The track will come in a lot faster next year, no matter what, because just having more cars there and having getting things open earlier, you know, I mean, when you can address the staff thing proactively instead of on the fly, you'll be running the cars more, having your glue down earlier, running more time. So that track will really come around sooner. Any track will.
Yeah.
For next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great next year.
Blake lost his shoe. Yeah. I couldn't hardly keep my shoes on my feet walking on that starting line on Sunday.
Well, there when Jed ripped the transmission apart of Jezebel there, Dallas had to pull me off the track.
Yeah.
I was out there picking up pieces. It's like, holy shit, I know they're sticky, but man, until you experience it.
5 broken
Mohawk.
transmissions, 5 broken transmissions, 3 drive shafts, 1 engine. That's just that I can think of off the top of my head.
And Jeremy a tire.
Oh, there's a lot of tires got roasted.
I watched that drone video over your shoulder.
Oh, that's right. You were watching me make that video.
Yeah.
The thing is, I had the drone up 4 times. I only got 1 video.
Ah.
There was something going on with that memory card. I got to get a new one. But at least it was the nice long video. The other ones were kind of short, and but it was like had a scribble line through all of them, like there was some kind of interference with the recording.
Tony's Hot Rod Garage says the carnage was minimal. Yeah, he's right. The carnage is minimal. All things considered, yeah.
Well, nobody wrecked, which was a great thing.
Yeah.
Nobody. Everybody kept greasy side down, so that was good.
Yep.
And only one Grinch was harmed in that whole thing. And we tore him up.
Yeah, Roland drug him everywhere.
Gotta get my drive line welded in so we can get the engine in the Rambler and get it running.
Bring her over.
Yeah, Streetcar Chronicles put up a great video yesterday.
Oh, people are getting all kinds of mileage out of that. I can't believe they're still putting out videos from it. It's awesome.
Oh, it's been deja vu for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all different angles, so it's even better, you know.
Right.
Yeah, you can't watch the same one twice. Everybody throws it out is different.
Big Block 402's got a good point with all the stick shifts. I'm surprised that only 1 grenaded. Well, that's true. That is true, because Ron Ward was commenting how many manual transmissions were there. See, that's the difference between a crowd of YouTubers and, say, a crowd of bracket racers.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll never see manual transmissions at the track unless it's like a gear jammer weekend or somebody just wanting to come out and run in a street car. But we had all kinds of manual transmissions.
I'm going to try for a manual for this year.
Me too.
I need to build a manual. I haven't built a manual transmission in, man, the last one I did was a suitcase style for a Hyundai Excel. That was miserable. With those things, the way you set the end play on the shafts is you put solder in there on the bearing races. You bolt the case together, you take it apart, you measure the solder with your mic, and then you just deduct what you need for clearance, put the shims in.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You've been into quite a few transmissions,
I did one of
haven't
those twice. Not that one. I did one in trade school that way and said, I hope I never have to do one of these again. And sure enough, a few years later, I did have to do one again, but haven't done one since. I need to do it 833. And I got a 727 that's getting done before that. For the one-eyed cat.
I think of all the manual transmissions, the Ford top loader's got to be about the easiest one.
I actually have done some of those. My racing buddy Robert, that's what he ran.
Mm-hmm.
And so he taught me a lot about the top loader Ford. And it was interesting. I think it's a wonderful design because you get the forks out of the cover.
Yep.
So, see, I really like how the forks go in the case.
And they come in so many varieties. You can get a close ratio kit for them real easy.
Yep.
Any kind of combination.
His made 1,020 horsepower, 14 by 32 slicks, ran in the 838 was the best time in the quarter.
Dang.
Did that with a factory top loader with a long tail shaft.
I just want to get mine together so it'll go down the track.
I don't see it happening, but it sure would be cool if his son were able to resurrect that car and bring it out.
A 302 behind a C6. That's the secret to our cheap torque converter stall for a big block, a 460. You get that torque converter for the 302 and you put it behind the 460. It's a cheap way to get a good stall.
Interesting.
In fact, that's what was in the monster truck. That combination.
How does a torque converter? How do you choose a torque converter for that? Because you guys didn't run planetaries, I'm guessing.
No.
But I mean, you had a ton of gear in it, and it's real heavy.
A lot of guessing.
Yeah.
And that was the combination that worked. Western Transmission here in Idle Falls, Idaho. They helped us out a lot with that.
Big Block 402 is talking about the Vega converter. Mike Iben is going to be building me a converter for the Dark Sport. Need to figure out what we need to do, where it needs to stall. We're going to work that out and then build it. It'll probably work off. I think he uses cores from the minivan, the GM minivan and front wheel drives. I think that's what they use the core from.
What's up, Buck?
How you doing?
I was curious what I was going to do for a torque converter when I put this factory 440 back in here. I just want to pull it apart, clean it, flip the pistons, a little head work, put it back together. Nothing fancy. I'm afraid to do a cam the way everything's been eating, or lifters and cams. And I can't afford roller shit, so I'll be happy with that as long as it drives down the road.
I'd try it. I'd put a cam in it and give it a go.
Well, I was planning on doing that this winter. I haven't pulled it apart yet. It's only got 11,000 miles on it, and we drove it when we pulled it, so I know it ran. I'd like to put just enough cam in it that you know it's got a cam in it. I don't know.
Well, you can always put that thumper cam in it. Those are almost stock duration, but they got real narrow lobes, so it lopes real bad.
We'll figure it out. Somebody will talk me into it, probably.
Wendy's going to talk you into it.
Oh. Like, what do you mean? It's like, well, because the motor now, it's fully functional. Why do you need more?
Because you always need more.
I
More
know.
is better.
Look, America is not about what you need. We don't need 70-inch TVs. No one needs 100 pairs of shoes.
Right.
No one needs to go fast in the quarter mile. Who cares about needs? This is not what America's all about. We're about freedom to do stuff we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Wants and
thinking.
needs.
That 5-barrel setup ain't going to work for me then.
Dude, it's cool, but if you want something that works,
I know. I wouldn't mind getting it.
yeah.
Yeah. For this motor, yeah. Sam, when I pull this motor out, I'll have still a second motor. I'll probably clean that up and put it back together with the 5-barrel, and it'll sit there in the garage. But I was talking, was it Kate Custom? No, what's her name? Does carburetor, Edelbrock's. Caitlin's. Shit.
That's right, Lars.
I forget the name.
Yes, we need no name 23 for sure.
It's coming.
Oh yeah.
It's coming.
I just want to sign up. Where do I give you my money? Win.
As soon as you see a number back here,
Take my money. Take my money. Take my money, please.
as soon as you see a number, we're open registration. It'll drop on my
I
channel.
gotta figure this out. I think I'm gonna need 3 registrations this year and 2 or 3 spectators. It's gonna cost me a lot to get no name this year.
I'm going to need 2 weeks off.
To recover.
No, we got travel time and both ends.
Oh, see, I went to work Monday after no name, and I really didn't want to be there. I was wore out.
Well, we stopped at my uncle's house in Cleveland. We stayed there for a day and a half. That was a nice visit. Seen Big Mike's Blockbuster sister. He's got a 51. The hell is it? He's got the Coronet. This was shit. What is it? I'm drawing a blank. Plymouth. Had the 331 Hemi in it. All the chrome.
Oh,
Glass was all good. I put a video up for short up for Big Mike.
There's Big Mike. Speaking of Big Mike, and he appears.
It's like
Big Block 402 877 cash now.
Chrysler Imperial.
nice.
Well,
Yeah,
soon as we got a date, we're working on it.
Well, my brother's probably going to use his trailer. He needs to know before December so he can put in for vacation.
We're working on it.
I know you
Dallas and I are working on this about every other day, trying to get some things to iron out.
I know. I don't want to push you, but
Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah, John. I'm just teasing at you. I know y'all get it in time. No big deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did it last year. They can do it again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this year will be a lot easier.
It's coming.
Everybody
And
knows
so,
about it.
what I love are all these trolls that say it probably won't happen again, and it was a bust, and all of that. I read that stuff, and I'm like, you people, you realize I can read these comments, right?
Who's that?
Those are the people that didn't come. That's what it was. They were upset that they didn't make it.
Well, we knew that was going to happen.
Oh yeah,
And they missed the first one.
right.
There's
There's only one.
I was trying to impress upon people. Try not to miss the first one, because that's what's going to set the precedent for everything to come.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I
if
wasn't
you was-
missing the first one.
If you was there for the first one, you'll be considered an OG.
already
OG.
considered no fee. Yeah,
Yeah.
the founding fathers.
Well, you know, we didn't have you should have had a plaque for Dr. Art being the first one down the track at the first no name nationals.
Well, he did. He jumped in the staging lanes early, and
Yeah, he was the first one down the track.
he was the first one down the track on a single.
That little Ranger was cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I was impressed by that.
Actually, he might not have been the first one down the track. I think I took the van down the track setting up, but that doesn't count for anything. I
Only,
think
Hey,
I
John.
just literally drove up to the other end.
only if you got a time slip.
I
No.
think if Dakota gets there for the 2023, we need a special seat for him.
I can't believe Dakota didn't want to go living in Northwest Georgia. I mean, that's not that far. That's literally about 3/4 of the state of Tennessee is it.
Well, BareRose went. What was it? BareRose 2,200 miles.
30. It was just over 3,300 after I got home.
Okay, round trip.
Yeah, round trip.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know you were gonna come to down to Memphis. I would have went to Beale Street and hung out with you a little bit.
Oh,
So let me know.
we didn't know
I mean-
either. We was actually going to go to Nashville, but yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm what 7 miles from Beale Street. I mean, you're just right around the corner from me.
You could have walked there, but I heard you don't do that.
No, I don't walk. I did enough walking. We can.
We walked to Beale Street. I went. I parked and walked in. It is interesting.
It used to be a lot nicer when I was stationed down here in the military back in the late '90s. Beale Street was a lot nicer than what it is now.
That I believe.
I know that little restaurant right on the corner, Blue City Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, that's
BB King's place.
fantastic.
I think.
Not BB
that-
King's, the one across
Across
the
the
street.
street.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I had ribs there last year.
They were fantastic, and the catfish was to die for.
Well, guys, I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I just want to jump on here real quick.
Hey,
Great
Travis,
seeing you, man.
have you
What?
have you ever talked to Jacqueline Smith, the woman that camps out across the street from the Lorraine Motel?
Mm-mm.
She's been camping out there since the 80s, for real. You should read about her. I had a conversation with her.
Really?
Really?
She's boycotting them turning the Lorraine Motel into the National Civil Rights Museum instead of making it like a housing project. And she's been boycotting it on the street corner across the street for over 30 years. And to my knowledge, she's still standing there.
Wow.
Wow.
That's dedication. That
But
is dedication.
So I call her the mayor of Memphis. She's actually very nice. I said,
That's standing.
where can you recommend to eat? And she said Blue City Cafe. So I'm like, well, you would know.
I did meet Mongo once when I was doing construction. I ran into him on a job.
Bongo.
He was an interesting character.
A lot of interesting
Yeah.
characters down there.
Oh yeah. But anyway, guys, I'll see y'all later, and I'll try and jump on some of these lives.
Great
I'm
seeing
going on night shift next week, so for 2 weeks. So it's gonna be a long 2 weeks. So, y'all take it easy.
Great seeing you,
Travis.
man.
Bye, Travis.
Dakota, how do you not think you could have 500 subs? James and James did it in 2 weeks. I mean,
It's
what
easy.
is the mystery here? We got BareRose and Buck in here. We got the two gurus who can help you now.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Landon here. He's got 1,100 now, and in 3 months. It's very possible.
Yeah, just got to do it.
Yep. Just hit that red
I'm up.
button.
I'm almost there.
You can't,
Next year.
you can't posture your way to do it. You have to do it.
Right.
Just put up. Here's what I tell people, and I can't believe how much resistance people have to doing this, and it's the truth. Go out today, make a video, and post it. And what they'll do is, no, I can't. I got to have this right and that right. And they don't understand. Good videos only follow bad videos. So just go out and make one, break the ice. You'll see that 99% of your comments are supportive. And after that, now you can just do it.
Yep.
It's that reluctance that causes the paralysis and keeps people from doing it.
I'm that way. I'll be out back, and it's like I'll think about making a video, and it's like the neighbor will be out in the yard. It's like I'll wait for him to go inside.
Yeah.
All you'll do is wait.
I know.
I got Dakota. I think I'm the first person to get Dakota on camera. I got a video on my channel visiting Dakota's timeout. And we tour their place, look at their Pontiacs and stuff, their tractor, their dad's in it.
If they got Pontiacs, they'll hit 500 quick.
Well, he give 500. All he has to do is just do it. He has to just go for it. But when people worry too much that their first videos don't look like they want them to look, you'll just never do it. You got to do it.
Hey, my shop's not perfect. I've got trash and junk just piled up in there from the farm stuff that was in there previously. I've still got my storage stuff in there. I don't care. I just shoot a video. I don't care what's in the background.
Just do it.
Now, I've got 420 something, 23 subs.
Hey, brother.
Big Mike.
What's up, Big Mike?
In my opinion,
Hey, Big Mike.
that's the best kind of environment, though, Leighton. It's more relatable to everybody. If they see, if it's nice, pristine, and clean and everything, it's not as relatable.
Hey, Mohawk. Mohawk, no, your problem is not that your garage is a mess. No, that's not it. Because I've seen a lot of people say, I can't make content because I don't have a garage. Andy Wood doesn't have a garage and never has. Casper was built in a driveway. Andy has 19,000 subs. You don't have to have a garage to have a channel.
That Mercury that I just did that didn't make it, none of that was done in the shop, and I got a shop.
No,
it's too full to get it in there, but.
And Big Mike has a hoopty barn.
I was going to say, now, if you look in my shop is full of stuff because I'm a collector. Wife says hoarder.
Collector.
Steven.
I've got motors and transmissions and parts and pieces and projects and just stuff that I've collected. I mean, I've got it packed in the rafters.
Steven is right. He says people who go and don't even talk get more subs. Stephen Holtz there says, I don't have a garage. Stephen Holtz drives up from Texas, changes the rear end gears in his Fairlane, swaps them back, and drives back after he races. I mean, all it takes is a warrior spirit. It does not take a garage.
Steven's a stud.
These are all stars. And see, and now that we got all these alumni of the No Name 500, look at all the people we have who can be mentors to these guys. And Mohawk 62, by the way, I didn't have a garage till not too long ago. I mean, seriously. And now I've got 2 bays, and one of them just has my car sitting in it all the time. So I'm serious. Outside, you can absolutely do it outside.
I have to do my work outside of my shop because my shop's full of my tools and welders and stuff and storage stuff that my wife keeps throwing out there. But if you look at my videos, you'll see farm equipment, old shops, junk that the farmers got laying around that I ain't cleaned up for them yet. But just go out there and do it. Have fun. And they got to be perfect.
90% of everybody doesn't have a shop. They can't do it that way.
That's right.
So if you're doing it out there and they see that you can do it that way, you're gonna hook them, and that's what you're after.
Yeah, Irish Outlaw has a gravel driveway that he works in.
Yep.
No. Saying I got my concrete pad now. I keep saying that, but boy, it goes a long way being able to work on a car. Let me tell you.
Oh Lord.
The concrete pad is nice. I do have a concrete pad out in front of my shop.
I pulled the 440 back in there a while back, put it up on jack stands, and it's going to be a long time before it comes off. I don't have to worry about losing nuts in the grass. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I've drove it ever since I owned it, and it's getting bad. The front end shot, the floors are shot. Motor's all right. It's just aged. It's getting tired, getting old.
Well, I tell you, I sure wish I'd have had the camera set up today. I was working on the little 95 Ranger out there. My son, he just turned 16 on Monday, got his driver's license. We went after school, went to the DMV, traded his permit for a license, went to the insurance company, got him added on the insurance. And so he's been driving himself. Well, he went to put gas in it for the first time. Yeah, and he's like, Dad, it's leaking. And I'm like, what do you mean it's leaking? He's like, underneath the truck, it's pouring gas out. And I said, well, that don't make no sense. So I get underneath there, and someone had taken on the filler tube. Apparently the neck, or the filler tube itself right at the neck, had rotted out and split around the edges. And someone had taken a hose and just run a hose down inside it, down into the tank from the inside of the filler tube. And I was just like, what in the world is wrong with people? So, because it's got the little part on the inside where the nozzle comes out, and then the big part on the outside so that it can, vent out.
Right.
But anyway, but I was already halfway through it, and I was like, shoot, I should have been recording this. But anyway, that's what I did today. That, and we finished shelling all of our acorns. We're getting ready to start grinding our acorns for our acorn flour. I'll have a video up on that in the next
acorns.
couple of days.
I'll watch a video on that.
Yeah, you can make flour out of acorns. You can make pancakes and bread and just whatever you'd make out of flour.
Right. I can see that.
Yeah, the Indians and the early settlers used to do it all the time. And acorns are plentiful. But let me tell you what, if you don't have a strong constitution and a lot of resolve to follow through on that, that is a tedious and time-consuming process. Sitting there cracking them. If you don't have the big bur oaks, if you've just got the regular red oak acorns,
right,
man, it takes a long time. And we got about 11 or 12 pounds we picked up, and then we shelled them all. And it took, seriously, it took days to shell them all. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, and also we dehydrate them because that separates the paper from the nut itself on the inside. And you got to dehydrate them anyway before you grind them. So, and we do it because we have technology, we use it. It can be done in a solar dryer outside, and you can grind them on a grist mill, but we use a blender, because we have the technology to do it. We could do it completely primitive. If we had nothing better to do. But we just
break
like
out the Morton pedestal.
Yeah, we can do the mortar and pestle. Yeah, I'll tell you the thing is though is like we like to do a lot of these old primitive techniques of hunting and gathering and preserving and stuff. We make our own elderberry tincture and walnut tincture and different types of medication, natural homeopathic medicines and stuff. And there's a lot that the good Lord has given us on this earth that we don't have to, rely on all this store-bought garbage.
I haven't seen Tim 72 Demon. I'll have to check him out.
That I sympathize with that Model T garage.
Great channel.
I used to live in a house that had a Model T garage, and we had a Jeep in it. And even with a Jeep in it, it was really hard to get in and out. It was tight. It was really tight.
I stuck my MG in one, and I had to pull off to the passenger side just to get the door open. They are tiny.
And also, Model T garages, they never cared about the entry and exit because a Model T is like a mountain goat. So it's just, they're always like that. Town where I'm from, you see them everywhere. You'll see it's real steep. So you'll see banks, and the house will be up the bank, and off the street, you'll have this 1.5 foot big ramp you climb up over a sidewalk, and then you have the Model T garage in the bank under the house. I grew up with those and knew exactly what they were, but I never thought about it that other people would say, what is that for? That can't be for a car. I'm like, well, actually, yeah, it is.
That was before you had to work on it,
Oh, yeah.
park it.
Well,
Brand-
even if you did, when the hood was only this wide and open from both sides, that wasn't a
Right,
problem either.
right. Straddle the wheel well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've never rode in a Model T before, yeah, you and your passenger have to really like each other.
Or both just really need to get to where you're going.
BareRose, I'll ride with you in a Model T, but you can't sit on my lap. You're going to be in the back, or I'll get back there and you can drive.
I don't know. I was going to say, I've seen BareRose in person. He'd probably fit in your shirt pocket, John.
Maybe. Yeah, BareRose's not a real big giant guy. It's kind of funny. It's
Yeah, I hear it.
on YouTube we're all the same size, right? But
Why she's in here, huh?
That
Well,
was,
we
it
got-
was real shocking to see everybody,
I'm gonna close it down.
actually
Yeah.
see people.
two hacks is 4'21". You know. I'm serious. I'm probably two BareRoses or two hacks worth. I'm like 290, and I bet Jeff isn't 150 soaking wet.
That trophy I gave Jeff, I was wondering if it was going to be taller than him.
We're about the same height, pretty close. He's a little guy.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
gonna
say
be-
the camera takes a couple inches on that.
I'm going to be working on a trophy for this next No Name Nationals. I've already got a great idea for a trophy, and so
I'm bringing
Hey,
spare motors.
Hey, Big Mike,
yes,
we gonna race our hauler?
our hauler.
Yeah,
Well,
Ford
maybe,
truck against Ford truck.
maybe. I'm not sure if I'm going to be bringing the Ford truck or not.
Okay.
What
Well, if you
Stephen
do, we
brings
will.
up, a good point about not getting to talk to more people. I just think it's worth grabbing real quick because
Right there.
one thing about fixing your stuff is the more reliable your stuff is and the less work you have to do on your stuff when you're there, the more time you have to socialize. So it's not just about, do I have enough time to get passes on the track?
Right. Well, and see,
And-
for me, that was the whole thing about the event. Wasn't so much about racing as
Yes.
it was about getting to meet everybody here, and
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
that was there.
And even then, I didn't get to see everybody, prolonged. Mike, I did a lap around the pits with the big Mike there. Thanks for the ride there, buddy.
Oh, you betcha.
You was ready to do a parade lap on your arrival, and I just happened to be in the passenger window. Go for a ride? Sure. Saying that,
Yeah.
I did a lot.
that spring in the
I did-
passenger or the seat in the passenger side needs a little bit more spring when you hit the throttle there, though. It makes you think you're going into the back seat.
I did a lot of talking and walking around, but I still missed some people.
Same here.
Well,
I
it's
kept
coming.
trying to get back to RC Industries before he took off, and I missed him.
It's coming.
Coming.
It would take 2 hours just to walk the length of the pits, and the pits weren't that, long.
Well,
But you get stopped every 10 feet.
Well, we got to visit you, BareRose. We brought you
Yeah.
back from the burnout contest. You and the wife sat in the van.
Uh-huh.
You're like little guy sat in the back. Oh, I'll sit back here. It's like, holy shit.
I'm little. I fit in tight spots.
Yeah, he is. Didn't take up a bunch of room. But it was a nice little trip back down the return road.
Okay, BareRose. Did you ever take a nap in the wheel of a monster truck?
Only once.
I bet you could.
Legitimate question.
Yeah.
Was it comfortable?
Hey,
Oh, heavens no. That valve stem is just brutal.
you gotta turn the valves down. I've had to sit on tractor wheels for a while out in the field waiting on parts, and I fell asleep inside of a tractor wheel.
My wife yelled at me here the other day for taking a nap. Well, of course, I was driving down the dirt road.
When I grow up and have stupid money, I want to have a monster truck so that I can find more ways to hurt my back.
Damn it.
Everything about them things is heavy.
Yep.
Yeah. Heavy.
I seen a monster truck at a little car show one year, and me being me, I'm looking at all the welds, and I said, "Man, I hope the real monster trucks ain't this bad." some of them welds are scary. I said, I hope it's only just a show truck, but man, I thought it was going to be all these elite welds and everything, and I get over there and like, what welded this?
What welded this?
This is the one I'm going to show Leighton.
Some of the ride trucks out there, yeah, they scare me.
Here is, and this is hard to see up close. This is Bigfoot 5. Okay, got the focus. So they used it looks like a frame out of like a 2.5 or 5 ton truck, and then it's got the factory F350 frame up above it, and they welded it all together like a sandwich. And this is all circa 1985. But I bet Leighton would have a field day looking at the fabrication on this. I wish it would focus better.
It's held though, so it must be decent.
Well, yeah, I mean it holds. I mean those tires. That's the 10-foot tire truck.
There's a guy out there that drives the Survivor.
That's the 10-foot tire truck.
Yeah, this is the one that all the guys hate to take because it's so hard to tire up.
Tire up. You give it its own tire up. I can see it though.
2 tires are the whole width of the trailer.
Yeah, they're probably freaking a ton a piece.
A ton? No, they're more than that.
No, more than that. Way
those
more.
Tires, those tires are from the 1940s.
Oh, okay.
Those tires are that old. They're World War II tires.
Arctic Crawler, if I remember right.
Arctic Land Train.
Yeah.
Man, look at the grip on those though.
I'm surprised they ain't dry rotted.
They'd mud bog with them.
Well, I believe.
I'm surprised they ain't dry rotted.
They are dry rotted, but I mean they're that thick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dry rotters, doesn't matter.
They're like 20 ply.
I can't imagine there's a tube that big, and if there is, I never want to try to put it in.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. Forget that.
Oh, you know what? No, he told me they're filled with natural rubber. So
they're solid?
They filled them, but they filled them with a soft rubber.
They probably weigh a good 7,500 pounds, I bet.
I don't know. They're extremely heavy. I know the truck with them on there was 28,000.
I know. I wouldn't trust them to float.
Well, I mean that means it adds 10,000 over a truck with 66s. Because a heavy steel truck like that with 66 is about 18,000, right? 1820. So those things are a ton a piece heavier than the 66-inch tires.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said
if the 66 falls over, it takes a forklift to pick them back up.
Well, they said that doing the tires there at the shop is easy, in his words. Oh, it's easy here. I don't know what they use there, but he said on the road a forklift is best and a wrecker is harder, but you can do it. But you got to have a forklift or a wrecker. He said there at the shop, I don't know what it is they use there, but they have something that just makes it easy to do there at the shop.
Probably a sky gantry.
Now the way they do them on the 66-inch tires, which I thought was neat, is they take sticks of chassis tubing, and put them on the ground, and then you can just push it over the sticks of chassis tubing and roll it into the truck.
That's one way. The other way is you stick your head in it with your shoulders up against it, and you grab a hold of cleats, and then you get it moving, and you start rocking it, and you get that motion going, and then you lean into it, and it'll walk itself right on the hub.
Yep. I've seen it done different ways. That way you describe, The first time I'd seen it done with chassis tubing was actually here on a display truck, but it was a Bigfoot truck they were doing that on.
Another
I
way
think
it's
it's neat.
messy, but you take 2 mud flaps from a semi truck and you cover the inside with Dawn dish soap. And then you put it down and then you roll the tire onto it and then you just slide it on.
I can
Yeah.
see that being messy.
But it's messy, yeah. That's the way we first started doing it. Then we learned to walk them, and then it was easy. You
I
lift
walked
the
a bunch
truck
of
up
big track
and you
tires.
line the hub up.
Now, was yours 6-lug 2.5-ton axles or
10?
10-lug 5-ton axles, but not
Yeah.
planetary?
Nah, no planetaries. Just Rockwell military.
Yep.
2 steer axles, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Those axles
run,
aren't cheap. I was actually looking at the axles. Man, they're not cheap.
No.
Some guys had run Clarks too.
Yeah. Yep. USA 1 ran Clark's, if I remember right.
But the best ones to run were Rockwells because everybody run them.
Yeah.
So if you busted
They're
a knuckle,
parts.
boom, somebody was right there with one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I'm going to hop back off of here. I just wanted to stop in and say howdy to y'all. I saw y'all sitting in here. I figured y'all was up to no good. Thought I'd come in and stir the pot a little. But
Thanks for stopping by.
y'all have a
see you,
good
Mike.
night.
Arthur out
man.
next year.
I'm gonna
Before you
call
help
it
out.
evening. I'm gonna get back into some foosball for a little bit.
Ooh.
All right.
Well,
All right, we'll see you.
See you,
Good
Mike.
seeing
Good,
you,
Mike.
foosball.
Foosball.
Boy, it's been a long time since I played foosball.
But we were a ride truck, so we were very limited on what we could do. Had to be naturally aspirated, stock cubic inch.
So why is all that? Is it by insurance or what?
That's what I was thinking.
There
Insurance.
was a ride truck in Canada that was going over cars, and he rolled it and killed 2 people.
Oh,
And after that, boom, they cracked down on us so hard. And it's through Feld. And you always, you follow their guide. Because if you can run with Feld, you can run with anybody.
Huh.
And you want to run with Feld because that's where the big shows are.
Big
right.
Block 402. I love that movie. I watched that probably 6 months ago last time. That's I love
Brewster's Millions. Just give
Yes.
it away.
it. Yes. Great movie.
Richard Pryor.
Yes.
They casted that movie right, though, with him. That was brilliant. That was perfect.
They actually have a monster truck driver's license.
I can believe that.
Jimmy Cretin is the one that does the driving school there in Kansas.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, you can go down there. He'll set you up in a truck. He'll teach you how to drive it.
Nice.
He's a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And he'll build you a truck if you want.
I just love the old trucks. The real steel leaf sprung. It's just my kind of truck.
Looks wise, they're the best.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a
Ride
doubt.
wise.
Oh, not at all.
I like the 48-inch tire trucks too. 48-inch tire was kind of an evolutionary step that didn't last very long.
Yeah. It had a blurb of a comeback, but yeah, it's kind of faded again.
Yeah.
They called them mini monsters there for a while.
Yeah, they were maxi monsters there at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the 66-inch tires weren't even really a thing until about 1982. USA 1, the first time they put 66s on that was for that show. What was that show? Was it That's Incredible? Or there was some show where USA 1 and Bigfoot had a race, And it was
That's
for some,
incredible. Wow, that
Yeah.
gets way back.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And that was the first time USA 1 ever had the tires on it right there. So his test drive with those things was right there on television on a taping. So talk about nervous. And those are the same wheels and tires, the same wheels and tires that Bigfoot 1 has on the trailer with it now.
500, and we're still running that engine. That short that I just did today, where my dad's got Sir Rat, our rat rod out there, that's the actual engine from the primary engine from our monster truck.
From Thumper.
And she's pushing at 500.
I watched video of Bigfoot 20, the electric monster truck. And I watched video of it there at their shop, and I just thinking, man, this doesn't look or sound right at all. Yeah. And then I saw video of it doing an exhibition at a show somewhere, and I'm like, man, it just doesn't sound right. It loses so much without the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember years ago, I don't know which Bigfoot we had it. They had an appearance down here at the dealership, and there's a grassy hill. It has an okay incline, you know. And he took us up over, and he just cut the sod and too wide, you know, about this wide, just right up the hill. He just removed it. It was beautiful. And the sound of the motor, you know, kicking up over there was just this electric football or Bigfoot.
So what were the things you said about for ride truck? It has to be naturally aspirated, and what else?
I think they've done away with that now. They'll allow stock fuel injection, but it has to be stock.
So no blow.
Factory cubic inch. So you couldn't.
What does that have to do with anything? I mean, he had 66-inch tires, obviously.
Yeah.
But what is this factory cubic inch stuff? I mean, what?
I don't know. It's just the odd little quirks that Feld would throw out there. They're tech, you know. Driveline loops, had to have a RI remote ignition interrupter. Seat belts, of course, everybody. One person per seat. Couldn't run over cars. That's a big no-no.
Why is that? What if you had cars that were already leveled out to where?
Oh Lord, if you ever run over a car with one with and a car crusher one, yeah, you see why. Oh man,
I know it moves around,
rough.
but for a ride truck, I mean, what would be wrong with cars that were already so flattened that the truck couldn't pitch or roll around any?
Mostly because of that, what happened up there.
Yeah.
After that, they just didn't want nothing else to do with it.
So what is it like going over the cars in one of those?
Oh, rough. It throws you around like no tomorrow. I actually hated driving it. I did not like driving that truck. The only way I can describe it to people is close your eyes and try to drive your car, because you don't see nothing up there. Talk about blind spots.
I was going to say, how far out in front of the hood could you actually see? Or did you look under the...
In fact, if you notice up on Bigfoot 1 in that, look at the way look at his wing nuts on his air cleaner. They're all turned like this.
So he can
and
see.
And that's so when he's sitting, he knows when his rear steer is straight.
Okay.
Well, that's why the race trucks have all the Lexan floors, because they can see down
so you can
through
see
the floors.
Well, speaking of that, there is the engine from Bigfoot 1. It's a display piece now.
Yeah.
Allen Root 640 with Predators and a blower.
That's how Bob used to line up to cars, was off of the wing nuts on the air cleaners. Because you don't see them. You don't see the car.
Right.
If you look
And those old
There's
trucks.
Bigfoot One's air filters right there.
Yep.
You can barely see the wing nuts. Had I realized BareRose was going to school us on this, I'd have gotten a better picture of it. The things you don't know till you know.
Yeah.
But there you go.
And his rear steer is mounted right by the wing window.
That's a cool truck.
Yeah, it is.
I'd take that for a drive.
Isn't that legit? Look at that. And by the way, that's the factory. That paint job is the paint job they did in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
That truck has not been repainted. It's hand lettered.
Are
All
those
the
brand,
decals they've done since have been made from this truck.
those brand new Firestones?
Yeah, they're a
Man,
48-inch modern Firestone.
Well, the treads look like they're about 6 inches tall.
Well, they just don't cut them. They don't cut them because it's just, this truck doesn't do any crushing or
For
anything.
show.
either.
Yeah.
Well, that's a kind of that'll rip up sod though.
It'll beat the hell out of you. You throw that truck sideways and oh man, you'll feel every one of them cleats.
So if you see the wheels there, do I have a better picture of the wheels? Yeah. These are the wheels from USA 1. These are the wheels that are on it now that they put the 66s on, but that's the wheels that ran on the first USA 1. And there is the hand lettering on the door.
That is really cool.
And that has never been repainted in all this time. Those tires cost $6,500 a piece if you have to buy them new.
Yep.
BareRose knows the secret to that.
Yep. That's the most common question that we used to get. And you know how much they cost? Anybody? How
Free.
much did we pay for them?
Free.
Yep. Because they charged the farmers, what was it? It was like, I don't know what it is now. It's way more than that now. But it was like $500 a tire to get rid of them.
To get
You got rid of them.
Yeah. And they can only run them for about 2 seasons, and the highway cups them. So the fertilizer trucks can't run them anymore. So they pull them off, and they just call us up. Hey, come and get them. We come and get them.
Got another new set for you.
Because when they would cup, it would get the tank on the fertilizer truck to sloshing, and it would actually flip the truck over.
I've seen videos of that. You see a water containers sloshing.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a bounce to it.
We got a lot of those trucks around here, BareRose.
That wasn't Bigfoot's first public showing, but it was the first time they crushed cars in front of a crowd with 66s. I'm pretty sure. And that was 1982. The first time they crushed cars publicly in front of a crowd was with 48s, and that was in April of 81. And allegedly, that's the first time it had been done, but Jeff Dane has an extremely strong claim to April of 1980 with King Kong.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that goes way back.
Most people consider Dane to be first. Yeah, King Kong is... So there's some video, and it's on YouTube, of Jeff Dane and his brother, Steve, with their truck, King Kong. And they have video of them crushing a car in a field. I don't know what year it was. But they crushed cars, I believe, in 1980 at Great Lakes Dragway. And people just didn't document and video like they do now, but people consider that to be first.
I can see that being there. That place was a circus show.
Yeah.
I mean, Berserko Bob ran it. That place was the circus.
There are
Still
about
is.
4 or 5 trucks claiming to be first with various levels of...
The Bigfoot that you showed, that was the first one to run over 2 monster trucks.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
now they did
I
all
remember
kinds of...
that was shell. Weren't those...
They were just shells.
Weren't those
They're
shells
just
though?
shells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just built the framework to hold the tires. They weren't
Yeah.
functioning trucks. But yeah, they did all kind of crazy stuff. But you've got Bigfoot, which ran over 2 cars in a field, 1981. You've got King Kong, 1980, which is disputed. You've got Cyclops. They're making a claim for that truck. It had the tractor tires. You've got actually Thunder Beast. So the guy who owned Thunder Beast claimed that before he owned it in the late 70s, it had had its tires on the roof of the car.
Ari, he's always witty. Make sure you video that, Ari.
Yeah, it's not telling you not to do it. They're just saying to film it when you do.
Oh,
Yeah.
he used to use ours in the backyard to run over cars, smash them down, then you get it, stack them up on the trailer, and take them in for scrap after we stripped them. That's the only time
But you
we
guys
run 'em
argued over.
No, I let Dad do it. Nope. Like I said, it'll beat you up.
Oh, I bet.
There's a reason Bob walks the way he does.
I can see that. I don't know how Jim Kramer is alive.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he took a beat.
Some of these monster jam nowadays, it's like some of the air these trucks are getting is just ridiculous.
Yeah, but look at the suspension they're doing it with.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, they could jump the moon with that suspension they have now.
And
But
you actually fly them.
It's still gotta beat you up though.
Yeah,
You
well,
use the
Bigfoot
wheel
8
weight
changed it
Keep
all.
you going. You actually fly those trucks through the air. Like
Do they got-
motocross guys and on bikes.
Have you ever
Same
gotten any good
principle.
air in one BareRose?
None.
Nah, never really got air.
They beat him up on the ground. He didn't want to get it.
Come on, you tried to at least get a few feet under the tires for a good picture, right?
I got air off the seat.
Yeah.
Air off the seat, that I believe.
Yeah.
Catch second gear on a tabletop. Woo, yeah.
Oh. I'm visualizing down here at the Bloomsburg Fair the trucks are in. I can see it in my head now.
Yeah, they're usually always there.
Bloomsburg's a big arena for them, I guess.
That's
And
for all
Buck
trucks.
too. Buck used to drive one. You should
Yeah.
show the picture that you sent me, Buck.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find it. It's
I'm going to review Buck's channel if he puts some monster truck content up.
no, I never did. I don't have anything. I don't even have a picture of me in it, which is kind of really
Man.
sucks. But you know, back then I didn't want my picture taken. It was a job. You know,
I know what
it
you
wasn't
mean.
fun.
I've got lots of great stuff that I think about. I'm like, why do I have no pictures of some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's because it
no.
wasn't a thing then.
This was back in the early 90s. I think it was 96, 90, not early 90s, it'd be 96, 98, somewhere around there it was. I was running a ride truck down at Wildwood, New Jersey on the beach. Yeah, that wasn't too bad, but the sand and the heat and, you know, there ain't no air conditioning in it.
How much did it cost?
It was $5 a ride.
That's cheap. I'd do that for $5. Hell, you
It's
got all
only
day.
between
Let's
there and
go.
10.
How long did you wait in line?
Well, we were there alongside Gravedigger. Gravedigger, he had lines all the way around the corner. You know? The people that didn't want to wait for Gravedigger hopped on the truck I was driving. Yeah.
That's the way it was for us at World Finals in Vegas. You look over at the Gravedigger line and it's just long.
So how many
But
ride
he's
truck-
an idler. He just
How
goes
many
out
ride-
and idles.
How many ride trucks do they normally have?
At World Finals, usually 4.
I guess the lines would be quite impressive.
Yeah.
They said Bigfoot 2, which became a ride truck later in its life, has been found and is being restored right now.
Ooh.
Oh.
That was quick. There he is.
Got a flicker there.
A little bit.
Or a touchy finger, one of the two. How's it going, Jay?
Yeah, it's going. Just got home.
Where was he at?
I had last night, tonight, and tomorrow afternoon. I'm running sound for a play for cancer benefit. So,
Oh, there you go.
Oh, cool.
yeah, that, and I was at a funeral today for a friend of mine that died of cancer. So it was like
Ooh.
it's been nonstop stuff like that since I got home. I ain't been able to turn. Well, I worked on my son's on our Mustang, but that's about it. Just picking up cars apparently. But
Yeah, I seen you too went through a junkyard right after No Name Nationals. That's
Yeah, I
pretty
went-
cool. You did, I did, Mustangs, Mopars, and minivans. He did. I mean, we all just, as soon as we got home, hit the junkyard.
yeah, I was actually there looking for parts for Dalton. He's having a hell of a time finding stuff for that Roadrunner, so I actually found him a hood. He may I may have to run her out there, but I don't know how the hell I've been through that yard since I was, late 70s, and how I missed this car. But we were walking through there. It was all of us, and I saw it. I was like, "Oh my God!" I said, I went up and talked to the friend of mine that owns a salvage yard, and he's like, "Yeah, it's been there about 20 years. It ain't moved. They had to dig it out of the ground and pull it out with a big loader."
Ugh.
But frame, all the subframe, everything's perfect. I got it out here now on different wheels. It's got a hell of a stance, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I got some big dreams for that one. We'll see what happens. I'd never done what I'm going to try to do to that car. So we were talking about names for it and stuff, and me and Zeppy especially were talking, and I just kind of thought of the Irish theme and the way it's going, of how I want to set it up. We just decided to name it Banshee, like a wailing, screaming banshee. And let's see what I can do with it. But it's staying in Olds motor. I'm putting it. I don't know if I'll do 455 or the 350 that's in it, but it's definitely staying in Oldsmobile.
I'm looking forward to all these new projects for No Name Nationals next year.
Oh, me too.
Me too.
So this
350
whole
Olds
summer
would be
was,
interesting.
this whole summer following these builds and these channels and everything, it was like, wow, man, now I know what I'm doing. Or, then No Name Nationals happened. Now it's kind of like an addiction, I think. Between No
It
Name
is.
and drag racing and all the friendships I've acquired from. It's just a whole new entity in the universe at this point.
Well, look at all the people, like the people in this chat here had the vision to say, okay, we know what you're describing, we know what it's going to be, and we're there. Think of all the people who didn't have the vision, who had to see the first one to say, oh, now I want in that. Because it's all abstract until you actually have the first one. They actually see the cars on the track. They actually see them in the burnout contest, flooding the parking lot of Lambert's. Like, oh, yeah, now I see it. There's a lot of people that 1,000 words can't describe anything to them. You guys didn't have to have that. You could see the vision, but most people can't. So think how many people will be there next year.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of a way to describe it right, but I just can't. It's just something you got to be there for. Meeting everybody was just fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was the best part of it. Is we sit on here and we finally get to meet each other personally. It's like we already know each other. So it's just like it was like, hey, how's it doing? Nice to see you. I guess face to face. Well,
but you think about it, we've got Idaho, Illinois, Virginia, Pennsylvania, right? And then over in the chat, we've got California, Mexico, Arizona, Pennsylvania. I mean, this is all over the country in one place, but the only place to actually be together in one spot in the real world is at this event.
Yep.
Hey, BareRose, I can't share that picture. I don't know what.
It was like a homecoming for a family that everybody wishes they had.
Yep. Dust Devil nailed that perfect.
Yeah, it's the homecoming it's a family reunion you actually want to go to.
Wanted to be there.
Dust Devil Brian is flying high about this. I cropped it out and sent it to him because I knew he would like it.
Oh wow!
There it is.
Nice.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's my boss there standing on the wheel. That was his brother-in-law and going up the steps there. But that's the one I used to drive down at the beach.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's really cool.
We had a stock 460 crate motor put in there. It was supposed to have been a 428 Super Cobra jet, but that was just a lie.
It sounds better than a stock 460.
Yeah.
That's
all
why.
All it was a 390. You know.
BareRose, it has the free tire stripe on the front.
Yes.
Yep, and
That's
that
a
had those
good-looking
military
trophy.
rears in it, and then we just had bench seats up there in the back for people to ride in.
That's cool.
You never saw many of the bump side Ford trucks 67 to 72 as monsters. Not that many.
No, that was
I don't
a
know
short
why.
box too.
They look great.
I like the patina already.
Yeah, that's sharp.
I like that a lot.
Oh, them bug shields, man. Tell me that doesn't go way back.
Yeah, and that
brings back some memories.
Everything
was a
was
stock box and a stock cab. You know, that was all together yet. Had a tilt front end on it, but
Could you imagine being a bug saying, okay, I'm 10 feet up, I'm safe, and then wham!
Yeah.
I had this one kid in the back, and we went over this one little hoop and went a little too fast, and he lost his glasses. And I'm trying to apologize to his mom and stuff, and he was so happy that he didn't give a shit about his glasses at all. He said, and she said the same thing. I'll buy him new ones. He had such a good time.
But can you send me that?
Yeah.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
My dad will like this too because he's been asking
71?
about your truck.
Oh, you want
And
me
I'm
to
sure
send it
he's
to you?
on here watching.
I'll have to email it to me, and then.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in that, Buck?
Well, see, the guy in the yellow shirt there owned it, and I worked for him at the time. And he didn't. Well, I did a lot of work to those trucks, and they had race trucks too. So the one summer they didn't have anybody to drive the truck. He said, "You go down and drive it." I said, "All right." So, I mean, I used to drive them in and out of the shop, but I never drove them around. And so I had the whole summer I was down there running that thing. That wasn't fun.
It's work.
It's
work.
I was wondering if he was ready to jump in, or it's like, you do it.
Yeah. I was, and then it was 3-hour drive to get there, or more, 3.5 or something to get there. I'd go down there on a Friday night, come back home on a Sunday night.
Yeah, it takes a whole weekend.
Hey, Doug is asking, says he wants to see a power wagon built like that. I know the Beast was. So it's been done.
That looks nice.
Yeah, the
That's
Beast.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
By the time you cut the fenders out, the bed's about gone.
There's
the front end is gone.
Yeah.
The extinguisher is a power wagon too, isn't it? It's like a fire truck.
The best place to look at monster truck photos of this vintage is go to the Monster Truck Photo Album. If you Google search for that, a guy named Dennis Taft runs that page. And he's got photos of almost everything. And I say almost because I've sent him some that aren't on there that I've seen. He hasn't added them. But yeah, the monster truck photo album. It's like iWarp, some weird website. It's kind of hidden and hard to find unless you're looking for it. But that has
just
the
look
best
up,
collection anywhere of old monster trucks.
Monster Truck Hall of Fame too.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a great one.
In Indiana.
And the website.
Yeah,
We were supposed to be in that, but Dad never filled out the description and everything of the truck.
I
There
remember
needs to
all
be a
those.
monster truck at 2023 No Name Nationals.
Oh, you know,
I'm gonna make a phone call.
You never know.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I know a guy.
You never know.
I know quite a few. Actually, there's a guy that wasn't too far from the track. The first guy to do a backflip.
Ooh.
Really? Is he that close?
Yeah, he
Trying to
lives
think
right
where
on
they-
the Mississippi in Illinois.
Would the burnout
So
burnout
the-
pit be deep enough?
BareRose, the guy that has the Raminator and all those
Uh-huh.
trucks, he
Yeah.
lives along 70. If you go by 74, Jay knows where it's at.
Yeah,
Man, that place is just, I drove by it today. That place is just packed full of semis. Like
he's
the race halls.
Well, understand this. This event is not about hiring talent and selling tickets to fans. This event is about all of you guys.
Well,
Oh, I know.
with
I'm
a-
just saying
I
we
would-
need a monster
I-
truck there, though.
I
with
would
a
love
ride
to see.
truck, you don't hire them.
That's the guy.
They work for
I-
you.
I realize that. No, I realize that. But I want to say just we don't want to take anything away from all these participants that are making the show. What I would like to see is a monster trucker with a YouTube channel say, I want to come out and participate. And run
Call
down
up
the
Whistling
track
Diesel.
and get in the burnout contest or crush, bring them cars and everything. I'd be thrilled with that.
Sure.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is BareRose needs to build a monster truck and collab with me, and I'll drive it.
If BareRose,
There it is.
if BareRose will build a monster truck and put a booster seat in it for Jeff, yes, we'll-
Yeah. Hey, I would do that. I would
bet
I would
you
do
would.
that. I would do that in a heartbeat, John, and I would I'd play that one up.
Oh, no, listen, I'm serious. I'd love to have a monster truck there, but what I really want to see is somebody from, because listen, we have one of absolutely everything in this community, right? Like everything.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see a content creator in our community build a truck, have the subs, and come and bring it and participate. I'd be all for that.
That would be absolutely
Be
epic.
all for that. We can find an electric car to crush, burnout competition, all kind of stuff. Just
We could actually have a line of electric. We could make a little loop and call it the Greta 500.
The Greta 500.
But I mean, really, that's a very serious thing. I'd like to see that. So why can't it? There's all these people building cars, all these people building trucks, and all this stuff. Why can't somebody get some 5-ton Rockwells and find some agricultural tires on their way to the landfill and make a farmer happy and build a truck? And I think it'd be wonderful.
Come to Idaho. We got a
Lots of
transfer
tractors.
case and a set of axles and 2 tires.
Man,
Come and get them. Come on.
that's the thing to do is go collab and build and all of that. Yeah.
Oh man, that would be so much fun.
That sounds like something Jeffro would be into.
I love
they're
monster trucks. When
2.5
I was a
miles.
All
kid,
about it.
see, here's the problem. Like, I started off with Hot Wheels, right? So I had all those cool ass Hot Wheels, and then the monster truck stuff started coming out, and I started buying those as a little kid. And I would take hammers and I would smash my cool Hot Wheels that are probably worth a lot of money now.
I can see that.
And then
Oh, man.
Knocking the roofs down.
Mm-hmm.
You know who would do this if he wasn't prohibited? It would be me.
Ooh.
Can't see it. Oh
A
man,
lot of glare.
there it is, baby.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's the Eradicator. We built that. We bought the frame all welded together, and then
Yeah.
built it from the frame up.
We'll have
Is
to
that a
get-
Patrick chassis?
Patrick, I don't remember. That was man, that's so long ago. That one had a 496 big block Chevy in it.
I have
Oh,
to get
wow.
Leighton to inspect the welds.
No, that one was that one was nice.
Jeff, you could do a USA One tribute with your jacket and your helmet.
I
And you-
know.
Yeah,
Oh, I know. You should see what I'm doing for next year.
Looking
I'm
forward
actually-
to it already.
So that jacket was actually a new old stock from 1969 Swingster jacket, and I
No kidding.
got all the different patches and had I literally picked that up. I had the patches done, and it was at the seamstress place forever, and I picked it up the day before heading out to the No Name Nationals.
That was fitting, though.
And so next year I got something planned. It's not going to be as vibrantly colorful Stevel Knievel, because Stevel's Evil's slower little brother on a monkey bike.
Well, you were kind of more like Super Dave.
Super
Dave.
Dave Osborne.
Super
Oh, yeah, I used to love that. He got ran over by a monster truck. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so great, man. Saturday mornings in the 80s as a kid, man, it's like monster trucks, cool cartoons that would never be allowed on TV today. Super Dave
And-
just getting absolutely crushed.
And
Super Dave.
Stomper commercials.
Stomper,
Remember Stompers?
WW, yeah, WWF when it was. Yeah.
Stompers.
I still got some
used-
of those somewhere.
I
I
That's-
remember Evil Knievel jumping the Snake River. The parachute deployed right off the ramp.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
People
I
are still
remember
thinking that he did that on purpose, though. Like
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he,
It's still
he
there.
scared out. So, but no, the Stompers. That's where I started actually working on stuff. I actually figured out how to get a 9-volt where a single double A was supposed to be.
no
I'd be
shit.
down there when I was like 4 or 5 years old with my dad's solder gun, and I was putting them together. He'd say, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "I'm gonna make it go faster." And I got it, and boy, them things will fly. You put 9, and I had all the different wheels. You had the foam and the rubber,
Yeah.
and the
Oh, yeah.
I remember all those. I destroyed all mine.
Do you
So-
remember the McDonald's stompers?
Oh yeah, Yep.
I love that.
you ever run into that guy, BareRose? Sudden
What is
impact.
that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sudden impact. John Seasock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was he was a partner with the other guy with the ride truck.
Oh really?
But yeah, I was just realizing that's the same year truck that I have right now. I used to work on that one all the time. Yeah.
Hey,
that,
Ari, I was going to say, Ari's got comments up there top. That Peterbilt, by the way, the trucks, there were two semis in duel. One of them got destroyed. One of them they made when they extended the movie so that they could get it in theaters from a movie of the week. And that truck still exists. It's in eastern North Carolina, and Dallas knows the guy. So
I know Super Pete was Mike Walsh out of Washington.
yeah,
He also run
Welch.
Monster Mash. And the California Kid, and he had a lot of them.
you know, Max D's right up north of us too, Jeff. Max
Dallas
D's
knows,
in Paxton.
Yes.
Dallas knows Mintz. Dallas actually grew up with Tom Mintz.
Hey, it's like down the street, or
That's a weird thing. Yeah, he lived like a couple doors down.
yeah.
No
It's
shit.
a small world.
Like their shop is, because I was working on it, you know, all that, and I got to walk around the truck and stuff and talk to them. It's just right off the interstate there on the left.
Huh.
It's right there. The big trailer's out there all the time, and that's actually Amber's favorite monster truck. So I told her it's there. She's like, "What? You're walking around?" So, "Oh yeah, he let me walk around." And she's like, "Well, you taking me to work?" I was like, "Well, you can, I guess." But yeah, the Raminator's up here, Max D, and then of course I was at the shop, the Bigfoot shop, all the time because
Yeah.
we sold Motorcraft, and at the auto parts store my dad worked, got Motorcraft and all that stuff. So we'd go in there and get tours of the original little shop there.
Yep.
They have.
Yep. I was telling John last week, I used to go down to my aunt's farm in Missouri a lot, and I usually went down with my uncle, and we'd stop there because it was cool. And my cousin, my uncle still has it, but he picked it up for his birthday or Christmas or whatever, but it was one of the original Power Wheels Bigfoot monster trucks.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That place was so cool. Like, I mean, just if you were a kid in the 80s and you didn't like monster trucks, you know, you're probably
There was something
protesting
wrong.
pipelines these days, you know.
I remember when the great big son of a bitch tried to cross the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It had those huge tires. They still have it out there. I think don't they have that out in front of the?
Yeah, that's the
That
one that
wasn't
John's got
that-
pictures of.
Yeah, it wasn't. The one you're talking about is Bigfoot 5 with the 10-foot tires, but the one that
Yeah.
crossed the Mississippi actually had 2 sets of 66s because it had better buoyancy and wouldn't flip over. 5 would just flip over and capsize. They tried to do that with it. I don't even know if 5 would float. 5
Bigfoot
is a
and
10-foot tire.
USA 1 raced in Florida off the
Oh, yeah.
Gulf. And,
Yeah, I remember
USA
seeing
1
that.
capsized. He stalled
Gravedigger-
out and it just rolled over. All you could
Okay,
see was
so
the
here-
bottoms of the tires floating.
Yeah.
Here's a question for BareRose, and I know not a lot of people are a big fan of his channel, but Whistling Diesel with his Monster Max thing he's got built. So is that thing legit, or is that just like some giant show thing? I haven't really watched anything on it, but it looks huge.
Eh,
I don't know. I haven't seen it in person, so I can't give an opinion on it.
The thing looks absolutely
It
massive.
is. It's 100% legit because look how many views he's grabbing.
yeah. I mean, it's not going to be in competition. It's for fun, but you got to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's definitely looking fun.
But I love that video. One of the best YouTube videos I've ever seen in my life was him having Monster Max 1 in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, yes.
I know that's one of the best videos, best produced videos I've ever seen.
Yeah, he got. Did he get in trouble? I know they questioned him about that. No, I got a boater's license.
No, but for a competition truck, they're low, mean. I think Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger's the only one that's riding high still. You look at them; they're all
Squatted. They're
squatted, and they're made for aerial. They're made to go through the air.
The engines aren't
And
4
just fly.
feet off the ground now.
Yeah,
I mean,
Gotta
they
get
got
that
those
center of
engines
gravity.
down.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
There's the one eye.
Let me introduce myself.
God. You know what? I'll watch some of. I'm subscribed to his channel, and I'll watch a little bit here and there, but I'm stuck between. What are you doing to that car or that truck? And that is awesome. Like,
he destroys so much good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wish I had his bank account. Then I wouldn't.
oh, I don't think I would like having to wear a bulletproof vest everywhere. That would suck.
Yeah, with all that money, I won't say he's going about it all the wrong way, but he's earned this new enemies.
You can't be successful at anything without having enemies.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Saying he had I won't say he had a monster truck, but what did he crush up against a tree that one time?
That was a blue 79 Ford.
Like a completely restored, beautiful
Yeah.
truck.
It's
I
like
He had all the
know
fence
truck was
posts.
a rag, but and then he had the one that really bothered me was that red fire department truck. I'm thinking, that thing had a lot of history. That thing has probably saved a lot of people's houses. That one would have been cool to have just done parade stuff with. Just watered it up and trashed it.
You know me, cousin Mike. I don't do boats. When a
The
car
best
breaks
day of your
down, I
life
can
is
get out
getting
and
rid of a
walk.
boat.
Oh,
I liked when he did the school bus though. That was
yeah.
I
guess.
It's all
School buses don't crush. There's a reason they put them out there for the monster trucks to do the backflips and stuff all of.
They got that.
They don't move.
They got that radius roof. Doesn't like to crumple. Crumple zones, you know.
See, I
But I
would love
will
to get
tell
one of
ya,
those
if any
school
of ya-
buses and turn it into a car hauler.
Exactly.
ramp
Just
truck.
what I was going to say.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah,
going to do
I've
that,
seen them.
That'd be
don't cut it.
portable garage.
If you cut them, you got to totally reinforce that frame. That
Yeah.
the body of the bus is actually the framework too.
Unibody.
We made that mistake.
Oh, nice.
But I can't fathom a boat. I have a buddy of mine
We
bought
got
a
to
boat.
find out somehow.
All he does is work on that boat. And I'm like, why did you get something that is so complicated, so hard to work on, and so much to maintenance? I think all the guy does, I think by the time he finishes getting it out for the year, it's
I'll be
already
right back.
time to start winterizing it and fixing stuff. That's all he
Well, I
does
don't
all
know.
year long.
Around here, I mean, we got some decent lakes. I don't boat for a lot of reasons, but like, it seems like everybody my age or younger that's got a boat is just like this typical ass hat. You know, I always refer to as the plaid shorts with the white fucking Oakleys, and like, I got a giant truck to compensate for something, you know, and it's like, that's the crowd of boaters around here, you know. It's like, I just have no desire for. Now, don't get me wrong. If I have the time, I like going bass fishing with a friend of mine. But
If I'm going bass fishing, we're on his boat. My niece earlier this summer is like, "Oh, Uncle Donnie, we're going to get a boat." It's like, where are you going to store it? How often are you going to have it out? You know, they fish.
yeah,
They fish over the summer, but not enough to justify a boat.
right.
Go down here by the river and throw out a line and take a cooler with you and have a good hem haul, you know.
Yeah.
If I'm going out on a boat, I got a buddy.
I like getting on the water.
I know if you
I would
pull
hate
a-
to own a boat, but I love getting on the water.
Oh yeah, I like getting on the water
Yeah.
too. It's just,
I've never been around boats growing up. Don't care for them. No desire. But I'll go, you know, if I'm going out, I'm taking my rod with me, though. You can fish.
I know if
better
you
out.
pull a motor out of a jet boat and you're going to use it in a car, you got to flush that and flush that and flush that and flush it again. And it'll still plug up 2.5 radiators because of all the silt and stuff that builds up because they use the river water to cool them, you know?
Yep.
So you want to hot tank that thing.
Oh, man, big time. We found that out the hard way.
yeah. I've
And
got
I
a
still
buddy
got
that.
that nice 5-core radiator that's only about half.
BareRose, you need a 3-core aluminum radiator new
For
for
what?
385, 68.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Well, I upgraded. I got one of the 4-core and a whole different fan setup. I ordered a bunch more parts, so I'll be ordering more this week.
You're keeping them FedEx drivers in business.
Yeah, they hate me.
I think
Did you
some
look at those poly motor universal motor mounts?
Yeah, I need to talk to you about some of that stuff. I was looking at some stuff last night on that. There's a couple things I need to pick your brain when we got some time to talk.
Sure. Because I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. You're torquing over, and it's going to take any transmission you put in it.
Yeah, I think I need a different. I think I need. There's a bunch of shit I need to do torque wise on that. Makes a little bit of torque.
Oh boy!
A little bit.
Like
I
cast
think
iron power glide. I imagine the shipping from California to Idaho on that would be about $4.2 million.
Oh, today's money, yeah.
I can make you a deal on that, BareRose. I'll work something out with you. I'll give you the buddy price of 2.4.
Come on, man.
Oh, seriously, thanks, Ari. But I've already got 2 of them.
How many more do you want?
Yeah, I think I'm good with that.
Good with that.
I seriously want to go manual because I do not want to play no more torque converter games.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to have a 4-speed or a 5-speed.
Years ago, a buddy of mine had a 77 Trans Am 404 speed, and he was getting his license back in like a month or two. He's like, I'm going to get this car ready. You want to be my driver? Where you want to go, Mike? You know. That was a pretty car too. He ended up I had a set of aluminum slots we put on it, and he ended up he busted one running from the cops.
Whoops.
Yeah, just ruined the whole set. They were pretty aluminum slots. You just can't argue aluminum slots.
I like aluminum slots.
Man, I'd sit and I'd polish shows in the living room. But, you know, drunk Friday night, run from the cops. You're not going nowhere, right, Mike? Nope, I'm home for the night. That was back in the 90s. Live and learn. It had a brand new dual exhaust on it. He took it down to the one pub, and there was a drain pipe that went out through the parking lot. You know, then he hung up on that, ripped the exhaust off. That was a raw header on the one side.
Whoops.
Yeah, he went to jail.
I would imagine so.
Yep.
I remember the second time I met my wife. We weren't even dating yet. Her best friend or roommate at the time, I knew her from a long time back. But I come flying into her garage with the bike, shut the bike up, close the garage, come into her place and said, the bike's been here all night and so have I.
Yep.
What have you been doing? I said, I've been out chasing cops.
Chasing cops.
You know, if you kick the bumpers on those, they light up.
Yeah, I kind of know that, BareRose. I had a dad that was a cop. I tell you, one of the best things that I did one time is I was 16 years old, and his cop car he would bring home, it was a 94 Caprice, like California Highway Patrol special package, had the LT4 in it. 12-bolt, 411 gears, overdrive. This thing was just a ripper, right? And it was the ugliest baby blue you could ever imagine. And it was like a Friday afternoon or something, you know, after work, after school type thing. And he's like, hey, can you get this washed up for me and get it all clean? There's like a parade or something he had to do. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And he's going to be gone for the night doing something. Well, I wasn't going to wash it at home. We lived out in the country, well water. So I'm like, huh. Keys are in it, right?
Keys are in it.
So I just took it, you know, quietly to the car wash, you know, hopefully no one would see me. And they thought I was getting away, you know, and I get the car wash, spray it off, heading home. And it got the best of me because I saw a friend of mine, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to pull him over. So I pulled him over. I'm hitting all these freaking switches and shit, right? Pulled him over, absolutely joking with him, you know, this, that, and the other. Get home, on and on and on. Yeah, I got away with it, you know, got the car all washed up. And, like, after that parade, my dad comes home, and he was kind of upset with me. And, what's your problem, you know? And he's just like, seriously? I'm like, what? He goes, not only did you drive a police car to go wash it, you pulled somebody over with it? And I'm like, yeah, it was Craig. You know, I thought it would be funny, you know, and he just shook. He was mad.
It's cool, man. It's cool. It was only Greg.
Jim is grounded to this day.
Oh, it gets. Oh man,
was at curfew on you inside.
That's why
his dad was there.
That's it.
Oh man,
he was chaperoned. He's still grounded.
Oh man, exactly. Oh, I tell you what, man, he was a cool dad to have, right? Because he was a hot rodder gearhead in the 60s and 70s, and to this day I still have no idea how he became a cop. You know, it's like, doesn't make sense. And but like, I mean, I got away with a lot of stuff as far as like he kind of turned a blind eye to, knew that I was doing, but But boy, if I screwed up, phew, that was the end of it there. That was the absolute end of it there. I couldn't get away with nothing
Okay.
though.
All right. Ari, so you were wearing a CHP uniform. Tell me that you didn't do the full-on Poncherello thing, complete with the tight pants and going to the disco, right?
Oh boy.
Tailored shirt.
Tell me you didn't have your motorcycle gloves just in case.
And the aviators.
The aviators.
Yeah, but did the chicks dig it?
They had to. If the chicks didn't, the dudes did.
Yeah.
That would have been. That'd be YMCA right there.
Yeah.
See, Bub's
Hey, you
got
know
it.
what? We can laugh about it, but it worked for him.
Yeah. Officer Poncherello. Tell me we're not dating ourselves. Oh, what was the other guy? John?
Baker, I guess was.
Yeah, Baker.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, that was the coolest thing riding around as a kid on your Schwinn, and you come up to your buddy and you do the high five on the bicycles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chips was a current show when I was a little kid.
I remember the cop show my dad always watched because cops watch cop shows. You find that out as a kid quickly. Nothing normal was ever on TV. Hill Street Blues.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yep.
I like
He
the cars
constantly-
in that.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the Law and Order of today. Or-
That and like it would have been late 80s, early 90s. My dad, before they had what was considered Illinois Task Force 6, it was volunteer officers from every county, and they got trained, and they went to they did a lot of the DEA stuff, and they would go down to Miami. I mean, it was weird because my dad was always like clean cut guy, and like I remember one summer, he was like super tanked. He spent a lot of time down in Florida. And he had his ear pierced, his hair was longer, and it's like if he just looked like that Miami Vice dirtbag they were beating on, and it's like, oh my god. But here's a fun fact. In 1984, I actually met Ronald Reagan because my dad was part of his Central Illinois. What do you call it?
Secret Service.
Secret Service.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You were 5.
Yep, because Ronald Reagan was from Eureka. And my dad, I remember going out to D.C., went and did all that shit and did all that. So it was kind of neat.
well, that's pretty cool because my buddy's dad was, I think, the director of the Secret Service many moons ago, and
he was also
he was with Ronald Reagan also, and
That's pretty neat.
Andy was with Nixon.
He was also on one of the original film thing ride-alongs with cops because his brother, who had this T-Bird, was a commercial accountant down in the Miami-Dade area and knew John Navarro, or Nick Navarro, the sheriff that started that. And my dad went down there when he was down there doing a bunch of shit DEA-wise and did a ride-along, came back, and he still has it, the jacket and all that from the original, because it was done in Miami at the time.
Dragnet.
Dragnet. Wow, that goes way back.
Yeah, I remember Dragnet.
Wow. That's right.
I watched more of Mayberry though.
Yeah.
Andy
Yeah.
Griffith.
Oh.
I got.
With
I watch.
little Ronnie Howard.
I watch a lot of other YouTube stuff besides cars, believe it or not.
What?
And there's a YouTube channel that's south of me. They are chaos divers. They go around and they find like people's loved ones that may have went off in water. I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah.
And I've got to know them pretty well. And their rear end just exploded in their RV over by Newark, Ohio. So I was trying to get a hold of. They need a tow company to haul this big ass RV and their boat. And I was trying to get a hold of Austin, see if he knew somebody, because it's like right there, Columbus, Newark, Evidently they found a few. but they text me constantly about their brake issues and stuff like that. So I try to help them. But yeah, they're good people. They actually went up here to Danville and found a mother that, just went off in the lake purposely, and they went and found her like 3 days later. So they're pretty good at that sonar stuff. But anyway, that's what I was doing. They, I try to like give to them too for what they do. But anyway, I was muted and wasn't listening, and I'm sure Jeff come up with something good. What are we on to now?
BareRose needs to build a monster truck. He really does. I'll drive it.
Hey, one of the Bigfoot drivers, Dan, I can't even begin to pronounce his last name.
Runty.
But he was a undercover DEA agent there in Chicago.
Oh, no kidding. That'd be a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
Holy
so
cow.
much for witness protection.
Man, I've been in that city millions of times. I used to be in it a couple times a week, and I know that city like the back of my hand. And it is literally, if you get outside of the loop, you can go one block, and then the next, it's like, oh shit, shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking. Well, not that, but
Nice guy.
Philadelphia.
Got one
Yeah,
of those
Philly.
rat tail beards that goes clear down to his belt buckle.
Yep.
Nice guy.
Auto Salvage Outlaws asks, "Who's under me?" Two Hacks Jeff.
Yep.
He's
I just
hiding.
don't have I'm doing top secret garage stuff right now.
Do you need a haircut again?
Yeah.
I got a new bottle of rubber cement so I can put up my orange papers.
Yeah. There you go.
Ready.
Little dabble, do you?
I'm ready.
You know, I had to scrape off the No Name Nationals off the van today. Because I guess as the calendar continues, it turns into No Nut November. Or bust.
You know, when you don't check the hashtag before you start using it, you wind up with things like "Where are India's children?"
I was about ready to bring that up.
That's me how I know.
Do you know he does hold comments on his thing too?
Yeah.
Because I asked him.
My son come over last week. He's like, "Dad, do you know what that means?" It's like, "Yeah, No Name Nationals." He's like, "No." You look it up, and he showed
Don,
me. He's like,
"Did you get some decals, Don?"
From
these, the No Name Nationals decals.
I didn't know you had No Name.
I'll send you some. I'll send you some. There,
Just
you can have one you
bring
can leave
them up.
on. You can have a permanent one to leave on there.
All right, I just want to have one made that spelled out the whole thing, but
I'll tell you what. I'll send everybody here some decals.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I like decals.
I still have the chalk on my truck yet. I like looking at it though, so I think I'm going to keep it.
You're waiting for it to feather off. I've done that.
I have on the CRV, there's 2 spots of blue paint on the driver's side mirror. And those are from parking in front of the shoot house, the place where I've done a bunch of training. And a sim round got right between the doors somehow, right? The only space it could fit through, and splattered right there on the mirror. And that blue paint is what's left of that is from that. And that's been there at least 5 years, 6 years.
Oh, that's patina.
Yeah.
That's the good patina. That's a story.
Stephen Holtz, we're getting ready to make a link. We're getting ready to make a link for the Etsy store because Schultz Sign is going to fulfill those. They made these nice shirts, good quality shirts, and they're going to come from there. So, yeah, we still have some, but when the link goes up, you'll be able to get anything, any sizes. So, yeah.
Hey, Steven, I sent you an email. I wanted to buy some coffee because I forgot to get some when I was at the No Name
That
National.
coffee's good.
Good stuff. Real good stuff.
Yeah, I figured he ships it, but I should have bought some while I was there, but it just slipped my mind.
Well, it was kind of hard to get to everybody. I knew so many people I couldn't meet everybody, even though I knew them.
It was a chaotic good time like that.
It was nuts. It's like you're watching these videos everybody's putting up. It's like, oh, there's BareRose, there's John, there's Buck, there's Landon, there's John, Jon. It's just
There's Travis. No, not that Travis. This Travis.
Right.
Yeah, that one confused
Yeah, it
me.
was absolutely epic good time. If you can't have a good time there, then phew, you got problems.
Yeah.
The rat rod out there was Vino, right?
Yes, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
Vino's a really cool guy.
he had nice equipment.
No, that was the rat rod there. That was Fleetwood.
That was
Customs.
Fleetwood Fabrications.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
Vino was there.
Oh, he was just there without a car?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I talked to him, and he's planning on bringing one for 2023 if he can get it done. He's building a wine barrel.
Yeah, all out of wood.
Yeah, and it's cool as shit. I've been following his channel. That guy is doing excellent work.
Who's that again?
One of my mods. If you can put his link up in the chat, go check Vino out. He is. I mean, I knew him before the No Name National stuff. I've been following him. Awesome guy, and he was there.
Yeah, he would be a good guy to have like on an interview on a live, because like I talked to him, the No Name Nationals, well over an hour, and his history and like what he does for a living and all that is just unreal. Like
there you go,
his
John.
whole story is just freaking amazing. Like if you like rocket stuff and that type of shit, that's the guy. And you know, man, he's just a neat guy.
He'd make a good interviewer.
Yeah.
So evidently, sorry, I don't mean to change the subject. Evidently, they found a couple tow companies, and he was like online live and like pissed, and he put people in timeout. But well, this is two of the towing companies over there that he has to call. One of them is Camel Towing. He put this person in timeout. He's like, really, you're going in timeout, you know? But it's a legit company.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like, well, that ain't that is got to be an ongoing joke every 5 minutes in the office. And
Yes.
the other one is Rusty's, and it's Rusty Hookers.
Oh
And
wow.
it's legit. It's a real company. I'm like, oh my god.
Rusty.
Now, if I do get a hold of Austin, I'll be like, what in the hell are you guys doing over there? Rusty Hookers and Camel Towing.
If you named your towing company Not For Hire Towing Company, do you think that'd be a fun way around the state trooper?
I don't know.
Yeah, no shit.
Probably. But I couldn't resist. They just got off that live, and he's like, I put a guy on timeout for that, and it's legit. What the hell are you doing, Ohio?
Yeah,
That's great, though, man. What a name, Rusty Hookers.
that is a damn good one.
Rusty Hookers.
God.
Hope they aged well.
Yeah,
I have a
probably
49.
a few leaky seals there, Don.
Right.
And now this is a family show.
That's all part of it. Work with what you got.
Rusty Hookers.
So what's everyone got going on tomorrow?
Moving in dark.
Hooker's named Rusty. About that.
I don't know.
Pulling transmission out of a damn Ranchero is what I'm doing.
I may take a ride down to Nelson's. I don't know. I'm gonna give him a call.
I'm going to turbo your Buick.
Oh yeah, that's what BareRose wants me to do.
That'd be cool.
I'll tell you what. Hang 2 hair dryers on each, one on each bank of that. Leave them
Yeah.
dishes in there.
You
And
need
Oh,
to,
you should
let
say
it go.
that.
You need to time Dakota out for 5 minutes. I think he misses it.
Wow, he's been lacking. And
I wonder if I got enough sway to call in an airstrike on BareRose's channel. Time Dakota out.
Scuds. Take cover, Dakota. He's coming.
Go old school on Dakota. He's been getting lucky lately with the timeouts. It's been a while.
Yeah, he needs him to keep him regulated and healthy.
Right. That's a regulator thing.
Yeah. Ari, you think you can give Dakota a 300-second beauty rest?
That video you did with Dakota, John, that was great. That was
Time out.
Poof, he disappeared.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, I got to time Dakota out in person.
That was great. John has the power.
That funny you should. That's kind of my idea for that Omega twin turbo Olds powered.
That'd be slick.
Yep. And I've never done it, so I'm gonna have to get a hold of some people that really know what they're doing.
Like a twin turbo, like a blow through carb, or
blow through carb, twin turbos. I don't know if I'm going to do it with the small block or a big block. It'd be cheaper with the small block if I decide to pull a big block 402, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're in doubt about it, just go with the Holly Sniper for that.
Yeah.
Let it handle the, fuel mixture and all that, timing.
I thought about that too, but we'll see. It's a long way off because I'll have to build a motor this winter,
or I could be like everybody else on the internet, or I'll sit in the troll seating over here. Okay, what you got to do now is you got to go out and you got to find a turbo Buick Regal, all right? And then you pull the carburetor off of it, and like you can actually get that stuff now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because
Edelbrock make a blow through?
Grab an extra one for parts.
Yeah,
actually,
might as well buy a third. Yeah,
they're almost more expensive than the EFIs.
Jesus,
they're spendy.
I was going through different parts. The thing is I still want to do it on a.
And I'm a carburetor guy.
Yeah, I still I want to be able to do it on a budget. I don't want to make it. I want to see if I can do it as cheap as possible, and just make that thing just absolutely wretched. Just like it needs a full cage. It needs everything, and the body of the car, the structure of the car is good. So I ain't worried about that. I'll do all the frame connecting stuff, but I'm really going to have to research into this. Hopefully
1099 needs a cage.
I'm pretty sure this one will knock that. if I've been looking at some stuff on the internet, like a single turbo big block, over 1,000 horsepower. Easy.
Go ahead and cage it.
I will. I want to be safe too. I'm 47. You so much as switch the wrong way, you jerk that back, and you're like, "Oh, that's it."
Oh yeah.
I don't want to.
I don't think my 8 1/4 would handle it.
Yeah, they are blow throughs. They're not cheap.
No.
Couldn't I just take the Venturis out and call it a blow through? I got plenty of Hollies around here. I want to beat up. Like, just get out of there.
Just mount your seat on the cowl so you can just reach over and adjust it as you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Put new needle and seats and metering blocks and all that on as I go along. I don't know.
You remember those true altered? What was that class called? True altered, or when they took the motor and they set it into the cab and you sat in the back seat of the car? What class was that called?
Screwed up.
That's what I was going to say.
They looked like a gasser, but the engine was all the way back.
I don't know, wheel stand.
I know what you're talking about.
It was
Like
real
altered
short lived.
wheelbase. But that even wasn't like that. You're talking about a funny car.
You're talking,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were. Yeah, it was back in that when that was first starting to get going.
AFX, they had an AFX class, and they were because there was 2% rules in NHRA, and then they, of course, everyone changed it up and they started moving everything back, and you'd sit in the back. One of the first persons to really have one way set back like that, Arnie Beswick had a. It was one of his original Tameless Tigers. It was a gorgeous paint job GTO, and it was a funny car-ish stock body conglomeration, but it was a tilt front end. If you tilted the front end open, there was no engine, and it was all the way tucked back. And he sat in the back. That car is actually still around.
Doug is asking who doesn't love that. We know who doesn't. They tell us every video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I got an education today. I don't know if you seen all the comments on my car on the Omega that me and Zeppelin put out today. I got schooled today on Banshee. Apparently, that's a like a sacred name in the Pontiac world. I'm like, oh, okay.
Really?
What
That's
day is
good.
sacred in the Pontiac world?
Banshee.
Banshee.
Oh, yeah, because of the concept car.
Uh huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a show car. Yep.
Yeah. In
Well,
1992. And the thing looked kind of like the Monkey Mobile. It was a really exaggerated, retro-looking GTO front end. It was 1992 they came out with that concept car.
Evidently, Sylvester Stallone drove it in a movie.
Uh,
I got the whole
Death
rundown,
Race.
John. Trust me,
Really?
you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm sure I
There
know.
was a-
yeah.
You're talking about the most sophisticated Pontiac guy who ever lived with the fastest Grand Prix on the face of the earth. Yes.
And I just said, well, Banshee is a Celtic spirit that screams and has known for its wailing screech.
That's
It's
what I
also
know.
a-
That is the backside of this. That's the whole concept of this build.
This
That's
is
it.
the
It's also a
Pontiac
four-wheeler.
Banshee.
It's also a
Oh
four-wheeler.
man,
This is the
Yeah.
Pontiac Banshee, and
That
you
looks
can
like an
tell
Omega.
this was just a concept car, but you can see how much the fourth gen Firebird actually wound up looking like.
took
this.
after it.
Yeah.
But this is a 91, 92 concept car.
That looks like shit, really.
I'm telling you, there's no body lines to it.
I know,
Yeah.
but this is the Pontiac Banshee concept car.
Oh man, imagine finding glass for that.
That looks like Speed Racer met a meth head.
Right. That's it right there. Oh, my favorite.
And a rusty hooker.
It
Yeah.
does almost look like the car that Stallone was driving in Demolition Man,
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
the one that turned into a cannoli.
I still want to know what's up with the 3 seashells.
Eh,
Go away.
You and that cat need to get a room.
Yeah, Mohawk says that was a popular model car back then. So yes.
Yeah.
Get up. Right there. Keep going. Right there. Get up there.
Yeah, and Tony says it was a magazine featuring Banshee. Yes, exactly.
But it was never in production.
No.
I just had a flash thought. It's like, what are they driving Hardcastle and McCormick?
Oh, that's a Cody Coyote. That
Yeah.
was the kit car for a VW.
Yeah.
They made that thing out to be so fast. It was like, it's kind of like Smoking the Bandit with that Trans Am. Everybody loves the Trans Am, and they say, "Oh, that thing was so fast. It was going 110." Yeah, killing me.
Yeah. They're
Kilometers
still
an hour.
Yeah, kilometers an hour. That's right.
It's like
They
60 mile
sped up everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't like a 77 Trans Am with a 400 force speeds, though?
It's a great engine. That's a great car, though. I mean,
That's
you could
what-
take one of those Trans Ams and just do not a ton of work to it, and you can get them going pretty well. Man, those
Yeah.
were
Don't
So I
put a
said
403 in it.
earlier, my buddy got a car. I was driving for him. He wrecked my rims. That was a Trans Am, 404 speed.
And I
Never
like
seen
the
that.
rims on them. Those
I did a,
honeycomb
I
rims.
did a,
Yeah.
I did a left-hand turn or a lane change and a left-hand turn, and I left the cop. Cop was right behind me. Didn't even see him. He ended up catching me right in the middle of the drag strip. Pulled me over in the Unimart parking lot. It's like, yeah, okay, for the world. I was ready to
I
go
had-
into third gear and head on home, and he's like, "No, turn left." Okay, first gear. Yeah,
this girl I
sign
ran
here.
around with. Yeah, this girl I ran around with in high school. She was cool, but her dad had a '78 Trans Am. It was like that gold color, T-tops, tan interior, and he put a pretty healthy 400 in it. It was a 4-speed car, and he'd throw the keys all the time. Yeah, go out, go have fun. And man, that was a very fun car. Absolutely fun car.
I had a 79 400
Oh.
4-speed. It was black and red. Had red interior. It was jet black. And that's that one I wish I'd have kept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty rare. It was had the 400 4-speed T-top 4-wheel disc brake. All original.
Oh, nice. Nice.
My
What was it?
first car, I think John knows this because he's got both of them. rode my bicycle across the river. It's about a mile away to go look at a 53 DeSoto Fire Dome coupe.
Nice.
I wanted that car so bad. It had the Hemi in it, and all it needed was a battery and a driver's side window because it had been broke out. And my dad talked me out of it. He said, no 11-year-old kid is going to buy a Hemi, and especially one they haven't made forever. So he talked me into buying a 61 Volkswagen that the engine was actually in the back seat.
Oh,
They only wanted $700 for that DeSoto,
Yeah, dang.
and I was lacking 200 of it. And Dad wouldn't loan me the money for it.
My
Hey.
worst one of those. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Dakota, check this out. There is Dakota and Dakota's car.
Oh,
Sweet.
nice.
How
Oh,
rare
nice.
is that? Look at that, Dakota. There's Dakota himself before he got timed out. And there's Dakota's ride.
I'd take that for a rip.
yeah.
There's Dakota's engine. And for those who haven't seen it, if you want to see what a Dakota's timeout looks like in person,
Here we go.
shall we,
The
BareRose?
sneak peek. Here we go.
Here we go.
I don't think there's really much more to talk about, is there?
All right, it was a fun tour. Had no idea they had that tractor here. That was really cool. I think we're forgetting something though. Oh, I know. That was it.
Oh, that's too cool. Oh.
Yep. I remember that finger snap. It's like, oh, I remember.
That's
How
it.
long ago was that, John?
Oh, that
What
was way-
that? What was that, Dakota? Was that last year or something?
Last year?
Yeah, at least.
Something like that.
Yep.
That
I
was
remember
too
seeing
funny.
that. It's like, oh man, great editing.
That's what a Dakota's timeout looks like in
Real
person.
time.
Because when I seen that video come up, I remember I thought, oh, he's not going to get timed out this time. Nope, he did.
No, wait.
Yeah, he got
Hey,
timed
you know,
out.
if Dakota
That's
will
back
come
when-
to the No Name Nationals, we'll make sure he gets timed out in person there. We'll put that video out.
All over the place. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Put him in like a lockdown area. he's out.
He can have his own timeout seating next to the trolls.
Security. Yeah. Yeah. Dakota's timeout seating.
With a
Right
ball
at the end of the
Does
right
it
at the
come
end of the
with-
track.
Does it come with a ball gag?
Oh boy.
Woo!
Wow.
My
Ah,
first
good
car I was
times.
trying to get, and I didn't get it. Obviously, my dad said absolutely not. It was a kid that was a senior when I was getting my license. He got in all kinds of trouble with it, and his dad was making him sell it. It was a '69 Firebird 400 4-speed. It was like that dark reddish maroon white. It was an okay car, but man, my dad's like, no. And I'm like, oh come on, that's a cool car.
Oh, come on.
Well, in 1992, 92 or 93, I was a junior or senior in high school. Not old enough to get my own loan.
92.
And a guy that we didn't get along, he was one of those mechanics. He actually glass beaded an intake and then didn't blow it out and put it right on a brand new engine.
Oh.
And he's that good a mechanic. So he gets a hold of me, and he went to a different school, and he said, hey, I got some work I need to do to my truck. I got to sell my baby, and I was wanting to see if you wanted to buy it. And I said, oh, what do you had? 1969 Charger, Dukes of Hazzard, General Lee. Beautiful car. The front, he had the front clip off of it because he was doing something to the frame, but there was nothing wrong with it. Ran 383 automatic, $1,500.
Yep.
I was $100 short. I ran to work where my dad was. He worked there 50 years at this parts store. I said, Dad, I need $100, like right now. He goes, what the hell you he just started yelling at me. I was like, okay, what is it for? And I said, a damn General Lee. He goes, that's the stupidest goddamn idea you ever come up with. He wouldn't give it to me. And I couldn't get a loan. And I tried. I went to Mom. I went to everybody. He wouldn't give it to me. Day later, he sold it to another guy. It was pristine. It was a pristine General Lee 69 Charger, 383 automatic. Had the roll cage, had everything. That was the worst, absolute worst missed opportunity I ever had. And I gave my dad crap about that all the way up until his last year of life. I said, do you realize that car for $1,500 is worth more than 2 or 3 of my houses? Well, at that time, you were a dumb kid. You didn't know. I was like, I don't give a damn what I was. That car's worth more than your house. And he's like, well, we can't win them all. Yeah, you definitely can't.
You would have
You would
wrecked
have been out there jumping ditches.
You would have wrecked it a week later anyway.
Yeah, probably. Actually, no, I never. Only accident I ever had was I hit a deer at about 90 in a 4-eyed fox body.
Wow.
The hoof come through the windshield at my buddy's face. I thought it was hysterical, but he didn't think it was all that funny.
Should have seen it from my view. Tell him that.
Yeah. But no, that's the one that I wish that's the one that got away that I should have had. I was that close. But yeah, it happens. Now what, just a ratted out Charger sitting in the weeds is,
good Lord.
Unless you're Cam Racing, some reason he found one for $1,000, but that thing was, he sent me pictures of that before he started working on it. Oh my God.
Jay, you know this road 136, right?
Yeah. I was on it yesterday.
Yeah, there's a kid I went to school with, and the car's been sitting there since the 70s. It was his dad's. It's a 68 Charger, 318 base model, red on red. And it is literally one of those cars where Dad parked it. I mean, it's rust-free car. Just patina it out. It's sitting on 4 flat tires. Never, gonna do something with it. Gonna do something with it. Gonna do something with it. Nothing has ever been done for it. Anytime I see this guy, I hound him. Is that Charger for sale yet? No, one of these days I'll get around doing it. And it's like,
yep. There was a Gran Torino years ago sat in a barn. You could drive by and see the nose of it, and it's collecting dust, and it's like, no, I'm gonna work on that. Yeah, okay. Even though it's under a roof, it's settling into the dirt.
Yeah, red on red, man. I mean, it was just like I said, 318, just a low buck Charger for the time, but super clean.
Well, that video that I put out that I'm, doing that little junkyard crawl, that's Stutzman's Auto Salvage. It's been there since I thought it was older than it is. It's been there since 1952
Holy
or
shit.
53. And there's one section of it that you walk through. There's Mercury Cyclones, there's Torinos, there's all these things that have just absolutely, they've been picked clean. And back then, when they put them there, they were just a Mercury Cyclone. They were just another Torino. But now you look at them and you're like, oh my God. And Bob, the owner who inherited it from his dad, he's like, yeah, he's got a W30 442 sitting there that is just completely rotted away. It was his personal car. And you sit there and you like, he'll look at him and go, yeah, if I knew what I know now. But he does have a 425 out of a Tornado that he's going to go grab for me so I can save it. And it's a factory 475 horse, 525 foot-pounds of torque.
60.
And it's a 68, I think. Yeah. He had it in a 442, and he wrecked the car, and he took the motor out and just set it back there in the weeds, And he's going to pull it out for me and let me have it. He's going to give it to me to save. But
is it worth saving, or you don't know yet?
I won't know yet. He said it's been out in the elements, so.
Hope it had rubber mat or something over it.
He said there was something over it until recently. So hopefully when he calls me, I got a car here that I'm going to bring to him. And he's going to give it to me then. I'm going to bring it home, tear it apart this winter in the garage, see how bad it is. Because hell, them things are monsters.
I can see you pulling the head off, just grimacing and such.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The other thing I haven't talked about is I bought a 350 diesel motor, an Oldsmobile DX, and I got it, and I've been watching YouTube, different things about how to take a 425 crank, big block Chevy rods, and pistons for 4.125 bore pistons. You can get it bored out, and you have to shave the weight, the counterweights on the crank down, and then get them redone. But you can put them in there, and that brings it up to like a 421 or a 4 something like that, 421 or 422 big small block Oldsmobile. That just is a monster.
Yeah, they have compression like no tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's that's something I did years ago, is build that kind of stuff. I haven't done that, but I've never done something like that. So I might, just because there's only one video of that being done, and that's I can't remember the name of it's a channel, but it's also something else. They had something on TV where a guy out in, might have been Jersey or New York, but this guy specialized in just doing this, and he explains the whole thing. I'm like, well, I can do that. I'll get somebody to do it, But he don't do the, most times when you build an Oldsmobile, the first thing Modella tells you to do is put the oil restrictors. Well, this guy don't do that. He don't do that at all. He's like, no, I've done this and raced them for years, and I've never seen a reason to do this. So I got a whole lot of, I got Pontiacs, and I've got everything under the moon, but Oldsmobile's really that's my favorite car, is an Oldsmobile. So like I said, I want to build a twin turbo Oldsmobile, not a twin turbo Chevy in an Oldsmobile or a damn. That's the first thing Bob said to me. He was pulling a damn LS out of a truck. He goes, "You sure you don't want this?" I said, "Bob, no, I don't want an LS." I said, "That's what everybody else is doing. I'm going to build a damn Oldsmobile." But he's got a couple 400 Pontiacs I'm taking out of there. He's got. I told him, I said, if anything's sitting in a car right now that's 350 Pontiac and bigger, I'm taking it. I want them. I don't care. I said, I'll take them. I'll put them in a storage locker or something. They don't need to be out here in the elements no more. So I'm making a deal with them to pick up all the old. He's even got a Buick 430, I think I'm going to grab, which is rare. That might be something Dallas might want. But
good torque.
Yeah, I'm just trying to grab everything I can out of there because it's getting pretty bad. Everything that was old school's going downhill, or it did 10 years ago actually.
Yeah.
But that's a neat one. I am actually going to go there and do a complete walkthrough. It'll be the longest damn video I've ever done because it's 88 acres of nothing but cars. And yeah, I'm online. Amber's standing right here. She, hey, they want to make your ambulance into a monster truck, and Jeff's going to drive. You don't want the monster? Okay.
Name Nationals.
We're actually working on getting the plate for that so she can start driving it. So, working on it. We're trying anyway. I guess still got to find a fuel tank for that damn thing.
Hey, well, I'm going to head out. You guys have a good night. Good night, everybody in the chat.
Buck, have a good night, buddy.
Buck,
Great
it's
seeing
nice
you, Buck.
talking to you. I'll be looking forward to you coming through on December 9th. You get to see what I get to work with out here.
All right.
I'll be looking forward to that gas filter.
Yep, I got it right here. All right, see you guys.
See ya.
I see Sam says I do an LS because it's cheap, not to be like everyone else. Hey, man, that's great. No one can argue your car was throwing down out there in Sykeston.
Well,
so
no
you got
joke.
results
Say
with
that.
it.
That Cutlass flew. I just watched that Streetcars Ryan's video, that thing taking off.
Yep.
I was like, my God. I should have.
It's legit.
Yeah. I ain't against LS swapping anything. I just love that anymore that it used to be a challenge to swap things out. Now it's more of a challenge to find parts. And
right.
We did.
Or
We
just
just put that 91 Chevy we're doing, that truck, and we got the frame done, the front suspension all rebuilt, everything's painted, everything's lowered, nice and clean,
And
motor's fresh.
It
and
is too, Jeff. I seen that video the other day. It's like, man,
Yeah.
that looks showroom fresh right there.
Oh, it is. It's gorgeous, and we put the engine in, right? And you were talking about swaps. Well, it's an LS and a 91, and there's this company called Dirty Dingo, and they make all these different components, and it's a slider engine mount, right? And you put it on there loose, you drop your tail shaft, your transmission where it needs to go, and you come down, and you just line it up, get it straight, and then tighten them down. I mean, we had that engine in like an hour.
Oh, there you go.
It was so simple.
Yeah,
Well,
mine's going to be that easy.
They sell those. Bob over there at Stutzman's, he sells the engine, transmission, with the entire wiring harness for $1,500.
That's cheap.
I built that 400 for Blanche. Parts was $1,400.
Right.
That's not including shop. I mean, it is a cheaper way to go. It's there. I'm not arguing with that at all. That cat is just really showing you the beans, ain't it?
I feel the love.
Yeah, I'll bet. But no, I'm not going to say I'm not going to ever do an LS swap or anything like that because I have an idea for one if I was going to do it.
Keep going.
So, I mean, there's so many. It really turned into the 350. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
You guys could.
There's a reason people do it.
You guys could win a bet if you had a thing saying who on this screen has done an LS swap. Like the one nobody would suspect.
Yeah.
That's got electronics, right? Nope.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Oh,
did
no.
one with OBD2, the whole thing.
I'm keeping all my crap carburetor and points.
LS
Nah,
swap.
I won't do
into
that.
into a pre-OBD car, put OBD2, all the wiring harness, tune it with a laptop going down the road. And I'm like Mr. Points in carburetor. Nobody believed that, but I did. And it flies. That thing is fast. If you saw that video, if you saw that video I did with Hemi Stan, I don't know how it came up, but he said, no one needs an LS. He hates those things.
But there's a reason everybody's doing it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
if you want cheap,
That's
big.
that easy.
Well, I can't really say cheap, but if you want a lot of horses for the bang, for the buck, that's the way to go.
It's good money, yeah. But
everybody's talking about the Godzilla now, but boy, that ain't cheap.
No, it is
Or
not.
a Coyote. That's like twice the price.
There will very likely be a Godzilla powered car at No Name Nationals next year.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Hey John, have you got to do anything to that 383?
I'm not touching that. Not touching that till I get your torque flight freshened up.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what the inside looks like. Supposedly it ran when pulled, 400 crank, and whatever. You know.
Oh yeah.
Well,
that we're gonna get yours done first. I'll bring it to you. I gotta get my windows done, some painting, pressure washing. I gotta get that stuff done this month, and then hopefully I can relax just a little bit and get some stuff done I want done here, including that.
Because winter's coming just a little faster up here.
Yeah.
But I'm trying, man.
Oh yeah.
I'll show you guys. I got this car home, and I put my 14-inch slots. I got 14 by 10 slots. You know, that's why they're not on anything. Look at the stance of this car, the way it's already set up. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Looks
looks
like it's supposed to be that way.
What lake did that come out of?
You what?
What lake did that come out of?
Oh yeah. No kidding. But it has homemade rear shackles. I mean, they have. I got it on video. I got to put it out, but they had a battery cable end. Okay, the part that goes on the battery. They had that around one side of a shackle bolt cranked down to hold that shackle in place. So I've got to replace one mount on the front frame rail, and but it's got a 10 bolt in it that's apparently Positrack, and but I don't trust that because the way this thing's built, it's probably Lincoln locked. But it's set up. I couldn't believe it because it's got the whole motor, everything's in it, and that sucker's sitting up, and it's got those screw-in things where you pop them in your, they pop out and hit you in the face. The screw-in lifters.
Spring
but
spacers.
I got those wheels and I got those wheels and tires on there, and those are the original wheels to my Cutlass on the front, but they're 14s too. So that's like it's normal. I'm like looking at that. I was like, oh my God, this thing is already set up. And it was a call and shift that they've got it on the floor. By the way, it has a his and her shifter in it without all the crap. I found that out. I'm like, okay, the one that's got all the stuff to the side for like a his and hers. And I'm just like finding one thing after another in this car that's like, man, I think this was an old street racer. And the further I get into it, and I'm pretty sure I may have worked on this thing before because it has flex pipe for a tailpipe. on one side, it's got flex pipe going out underneath, and there's two holes drilled in it where they had tips in it. So, I mean, it was probably one of the worst cars built that just whooped ass on the street, and it was a 352 barrel, but it's originally a 260 car. So somebody swapped it out, but I ran all the numbers, and it's got number 8 heads on it, which is on the stock 350s and all that. I'm like, okay. Well, but of course, all the manifold was off. So your runners in your head, they're completely full of
Oh.
whatever you can think of. So
Oh.
so I imagine it's junk, but I'm hoping I can pull apart and be surprised. You know, like I could reuse this thing, because that DX thing, that's going to take me a while. I mean, that's going to take some machine work. I can't just, and there ain't nobody around here that does it. So I'll have to send it to St. Louis, or maybe take it down to
His
what's his
machine.
name? Yeah, take
Ed's
it down to
machine.
Ed.
Tell you what, it's as much business as he can get from this community. He don't need outside.
I was
know,
just
I
going to
think-
say, Ed's going to be a busy man for the next 30 years.
I think some of those us a kickback. How much you think collectively got spent out of this community in the last year?
Oh, Lord.
Like Summit and Jags.
Jags. Don't get me started.
Oh, I know. I hear you.
Jags and UPS. Goddamn Jags and UPS.
I'd be more worried about UPS. That was.
I
feel
still
bad
haven't
for
heard
you.
anything on that claim.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I
they
don't
don't
even know how
care.
you put a price tag on that unit.
There isn't.
Yeah.
That's what I told him.
I seen the box when you did that video on the arrival. Here, this is what showed up today. Look,
Yeah.
makes me think it went back to a monster truck crushing. It was bad. It's like, man, I feel bad for both you guys.
Well, then after that happened, I ordered that stuff for Jags for Blanche's engine. And it came the same way. Luckily, the camshaft and lifters were still taped together, but like the timing chain was laying out. There was no receipt in there like they always put in. There was no padding or foam or pillows or whatever. No candy. I mean, come on. You know, there's like, I got nothing. And I called them like, oh, we're so sorry about that. I'm like, yeah. And I said,
I was going to say, I actually had UPS do something I've never heard of before. Y'all tell me if you've heard of this. UPS, I ordered some machinist vices a few years ago, and somehow they found an address they had saved for me from 16 years before and delivered them there. And I know that address was nowhere on anything where I ordered them.
Right.
And I still have no idea how that happened. Huh?
And how long were you in the system?
Well, so I ordered these vices. It was 2018, maybe 2019. And they delivered them to a house that I lived in 2001.
Wow.
And hadn't lived there since then.
Whoops.
And I don't even know how they got the address, but I'm thinking I didn't put that on anything where I ordered it. That had to happen at UPS because I know for sure the vendor didn't have that address. So how does UPS do that? And they wouldn't fix it for me. So the way I had to fix it was I actually heard them on hold talking with a supervisor, and I could hear them mumbling in the background, and I heard that street number. And so what I did is I found out who was living there in the house. I said, hey, you don't know me at all, but I'm the guy who they delivered the package for. And they said, well, nobody could make that up because you knew that the package would weigh more than a fork truck. And, you know, it's the right name, so come pick it up. They didn't like me doing that either because, I don't know, I kind of reverse engineered some screwy thing that they have that they don't want people to know or something. I don't know.
Well,
I've never had that happen. Have you guys ever even heard of that?
No. That's a first for me.
I don't. It's I don't know how it happens.
At least you got your product. What was it? Would they ship you?
They were machinist vices.
Oh, okay.
So you know the vices like you have on top of a mill or a lathe, or not a lathe, but you have like on an end mill, and they're flat. Some of those.
Oh, okay.
We use them for rifle class because they're real short, and you can chuck up one of those dummy magazines and hold the receiver while you build the rifle.
All right.
See, they're real flat, so they would lay on your work table and didn't stick up. They're perfect for rifle builders.
I've got Summit and Jegs now, where it's in my notes. Do not send me anything UPS. If you do, I will send it back and I will order from someone else.
Yeah.
I said, I mean, the whole parts thing, okay, it happens once in a while, but that box I got from BareRose that they sent,
Oh,
Jesus,
that was a choice.
criminy.
That was
And we didn't even attempt. We didn't have time. We didn't even attempt to try to glue that thing back together. Because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. You know, I didn't want to rush it, so we got it on. We actually have it on our kitchen counter, and
luckily
it's
all
like
the
sitting
pieces are there, right?
Yes, every
Okay.
piece is there.
makes you wonder how far in the transit the damage happened.
Well, it was supposed to deliver this one day, and then it didn't deliver. And then it came like a day later. I'm thinking it happened right up north of me in Mattoon, Illinois. That's where the hub is. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah,
All
I
it
mean,
was
everything
missing was a tire track across it. I mean, they
Right.
Yeah, I
destroyed
mean, it was that bad. They even took your damn stickers.
Yeah, and the
They
letter
didn't
that
give me
was
the
in
stickers, the letter, nothing. I didn't get anything. You'd think they would have tried to cover the tracks a little better,
it.
but
All
I
the
mean,
packing was gone. Yeah, that was.
Well, that one day
Oh,
delay
man.
was the guy that boogered it up. Is like, oh shit, what do I do?
I mean, even my dogs try to cover up an accident. You know, it's like if I wonder if I walked in up there and said, "Who did it?" They'd all like cower and
Yeah, cower turn
in the corner.
Like, man,
Is
it's
your
like, hey, it was
UPS
that
driver?
way when I got it.
Is
Blame
your
it on the
UPS
laptop.
driver the same mailman in that movie Funny Farm?
Yeah.
By the time he gets to your place, he's pretty liquored up by then. I just leave him alone. He's kind of ornery.
You know what? I think, you know what? I would dreamed of working for UPS one day, the day I picked up Andy's valve covers for him.
Oh, yeah. I remember that too.
Yeah, I made a GIF out of this and sent it to Andy.
UPS in training.
That's it.
Well,
if you look closely, you can see people watching and cheering in the background.
You almost qualify for it too, because it almost gets both tires.
Yeah. It's like a damn. It's like Pet Detective when he's like, "Package! I got a package."
This sounds like it's broken. Most definitely.
Most likely, sir.
Definitely.
Oh, look!
Oh, Lord. Hit the big time again.
What does fragile mean?
Yeah, it had fragile stickers all over that box. About gave poor Andy a heart attack.
I remember when you put that out. It's like, man.
Yeah. Greg Brown was totally in on it too. He loved the idea.
For sure. It's hard to imagine how long ago that was now. I remember when you put that video out.
Yeah, it was. I think it was June of last year. I did that.
My, how time flies.
Yeah. But at the same time, it feels like it was forever ago because think of how much stuff we've done since then.
Oh, my goodness. And now we've all met.
Yeah.
And we've had dinner.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. I was really surprised though. I was hoping Ryan would put out all the shenanigans that happened there that night, that Saturday night we went back. You know,
Yeah.
I think BareRose, you were there. We were all there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And he had that thing going, and that back corner with me and Austin, Amber and Zeppy were back there. And Austin, he's a different person on camera than he is in person, boy. He's loud. And that guy's worse than me. I'm pretty bad with the trucker mouth thing, but boy, he gets her going. and people are like eating their dinner and like eating their rolls, and their eyes are this big, and he's just yak 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 yak. Ryan's a riot, man. I mean, some of them you meet in person, like Streetcar Chronicles and all of them. It was just like, yeah, this could get really bad if we weren't driving cars and made not to drink. This could get
Yeah.
this could get a little hairy.
Wow. It turned into stories to tell.
The best though is Jeff. I turn around and he's the one chucking the rolls.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
was
he
like,
was throwing
we was
them.
talking about.
Oh yeah, I missed Eric, Destroyer Eric, and I splattered somebody.
Yeah, you hit somebody in the face, like right behind us. I was like, who's throwing these damn things? I turn around, there's Jeff back there and his glove on.
Well, did you
That's
did you hear what I did Saturday night?
Brian.
What I did Saturday night there? Saturday night there, I went up and I had an announcement made. I mean, I had the people working there like we were like these famous YouTubers for a drag racing event and blah blah blah. I had them just going, and I told them that there was one super famous one in the group, and it was the Popcorn Chronicles, and it was Michael Bolton. And I gave like this announcement, And this one kid, he's like, really? I'm like, oh, yeah, he's super famous, he's got this great autograph. You got to go there. And he's just jabbing his freaking ear off. Ask him for an autograph.
Oh, it was
Well,
great.
you don't even want to know what we got planned for next year.
Woo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. So you know how there's nobody in the known universe that does not know that Austin went to the lake with Whistling Diesel?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay, well look out, because there's nobody in the known universe who does not know that Steve Magg said Brian's car was cool. See Dust Devil over there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen them.
There's nobody there can't be anybody left in the world who doesn't know that. I can do this.
That's cool.
Oh, missed it. There you go.
If I can do that, I can't quite.
That's cool.
He lives for that. That's the new. Did you know? I went to the lake with Whistling Diesel from Bride now.
I should let Mags know about my 5-barrel. He'd probably be on that.
Man, I had that benefit last night, so I missed it. I was trying to catch in on it because I really wanted to see what he say about my ambulance. Like, because I didn't think about it to ask. I was like, man, I wonder if I
He
can
said
get
he
on there
wants
real
to come
quick.
back, so we'll do it again sometime.
You
Yeah.
needed to get Mags at No Name Nationals next year.
We'll see. We'll see. It's
I know that's a tall order there.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. You're right.
That is pretty cool that he would say something. You know what, my biggest thing that happened that whole weekend that was just unbelievable?
Yeah,
I
it was
was
a pleasure meeting you too.
Oh yeah.
yeah, ha ha ha. And
There
the
we
cat
go.
for the win. No, I was at the hotel and Dalton and his brother and JD and all them, we were waiting on each other, and I said, okay, I got to run over here and get fuel, and I just want to make sure the Javelin's full and get my damn Bang energy drink and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there, and I was waiting on Amber to come out. Dalton wanted to get to the raceway, so he took off, and we're just sitting there, and this van pulls up with this, an older couple. I don't know how old they are. And this woman gets out and she walks up. She says, "Are you Jay, right? Irish Outlaw Garage?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she goes, "I absolutely love your channel. It is cute. Your little boy." And she just didn't know these people from Adam. And they came up and just talked about my channel. I love everybody's channels. And yours is awesome. This car is beautiful. I watched the thing. And I just said, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say because I'm just Jay from Effingham, Illinois. I don't. And they were from like I don't know, Arkansas or Tennessee or somewhere, and I shook their hand and I handed them stickers, and I was like, well, I appreciate you watching. Oh, we can't wait to see what you come up with this ambulance. We can see it from afar. I said, well, you can come down there, and check it out. You're more than welcome. And that just made my day. And Amber too. We were just like, these people we don't know these people from Adam. They knew who I was. And it wasn't really because of my channel, it was because what we have here. They seen the No Name Nationals thing. They're at the No Name Nationals event. And then lo and behold, that night, that happened Friday. And then Friday night, I'm backing in to the spot. Amber and Zeppy are walking up. And I'm sitting there texting with Austin, and another van pulls up with a dad, his wife, and 3 kids in the back, and they were all staring at me like I was Whistling Diesel. And I'm like,
Diesel. Yeah.
hey, how's it going? He's like, oh, we love your car. We walked through the pit area, saw the ambulance, and blah, blah. Yeah. And it was like, I don't know, man. That was weird to me because I'm not ever in that position. I mean, I get a little bit of it from the musician side, but that's a totally different person. But I'm just being myself on this camera. And people are like, oh, we love your channel and blah, blah, blah. And can't wait. I wish we could have saw the and I always have the same answer. Wish we could have saw Blanche. They knew the car by name, and they're like, we're not talking about that. They're like looking at me. Oh, I'm sorry. I said, no, I'm joking. You'll see in the videos coming up. We're not talking about that.
I seen that video.
If I have somebody come up and ask me, are you Jay? I'm going to say, does he have a warrant?
Yeah. I don't know. Am I him or not? But yeah, I mean, that was the coolest thing for me. The whole, I mean, it was all cool. Don't get me wrong. But that part right there was just like, okay, these people actually, I was never expecting that. I started this YouTube channel just because my boy said, Dad, you should record yourself. And now it's been complete hell. It's nonstop.
Look what Al, you got yourself into.
Al had asked about the monkey bikes, and yes, it looks like we're going to run monkey bikes again because the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Everybody wants to come out. More people want to jump in. They want to make them faster. So it seems like overall, that's what people want.
Oh, yeah.
No Name's known for monkey bikes now. It's part of it.
I'm looking forward to Vanishing Point being there, too.
Yeah. I need to get that going. Waiting on some parts, but yeah.
I'm looking forward to Dakota coming.
Oh, big time.
Get your subscribers, man. What are you waiting for?
Everybody knows you.
Bigger on the monkey bikes? I don't know. Why not the same displacement? There's all kinds of untapped potential there. I mean, gosh, they got them to 40 miles an hour with 97 cc's. Isn't that cool? Why don't you get on one of those and do 40 miles an hour and see how much faster you want to go?
Yeah, Jeff wants to do 40 miles an hour. He was this close.
I don't know what's worse, 40 miles an hour on one of those or 50 feet up in a JLG lift. I'm not sure which is worse.
Well, how about you? Yeah, I mean, I got that thing up to like 35, and it was, I mean, the back tire kept going flat, and it kept getting worse. And then on a couple of those runs, I aired it up right before I hit the track, and by the time I did a burnout stage and got down towards the end of the track, it was pretty bouncy. And I kept it kept like skipping a chain and locking it back up, and I just feel it. I'm like, if I die on a monkey bike, somebody better record that and get a bunch of subs off it.
Yeah, but your jacket looked great.
And the helmet and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Super Dave written all over it.
But I didn't crash.
To bump the light, start it again, and still make it.
I did. That thing died right on me. And you know what? I could spin the tire on that thing and it would never smoke.
Was he coaxing
That's
it
not
on?
right.
Come on, give me a little.
Yeah.
It's like you're embarrassing me here. I'm already looking forward to next year. I've got shit planned already.
I already bought a car.
I already have a car. I just got to get it. I got a bunch of shit to do. My list went from this long to this long.
I was talking to Buff. I said, hey, he's like, you need to get a big ass car carrier for your semis. I thought about
I tell
it.
you, there's money in that.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, but I would just park it back here somewhere in my small yard just to carry my cars to No Name Nationals. That's the only thing I'd have it for. What are you using that big trailer for?
Hey, Alvin, in case you're thinking of building a bike, understand, don't just say, 97cc's got it. Those rules are specific. Go to AHRA online. Rule book is there. You get the monkey bike rules at nonamenationals.com. I'm going to improve that website, but the rules are there. Not saying they'll even stay the same. So don't think, I have something that's 97 cc's. It's more to it than that.
God, I wish Kim would have had that. I wanted to see that damn oil pump as a supercharger.
I don't know how that would ever. I can't, because it looks to me like it would make more drag than anything.
I don't know. But it was a neat idea. That was
didn't work until it locked up.
Yeah.
So
you have to find a way to oil it.
There's two things I'm surprised people didn't do. I'm surprised nobody sprayed one.
Yep.
And I'm surprised nobody got a little teeny eBay turbo, one of those little teeny tiny ones, and put on one.
Yeah.
Either of those would have just gone so far.
The spraying thing, they may still want to keep their package. you blow the roof off one of them, it ain't got real far to go, and you got a big ass fuel tank right on top of it. I don't know.
The guys that drove the slingshot dragsters, I mean, to me,
Oh,
they had
those
to
guys.
get over that.
I mean, that thing was right between your legs. And the pavement was right there on your butt.
I tell you, I can't imagine getting 40 on one of those, but they'll do it.
I was close, man. No. I'm going to give my little trick away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it, right? And I'm going to build a wheelie bar on it. So, but it's not going to really do a wheelie, but here's why I say that. If you guys know, like in the 60s, when those psychos would build a drag bike, like on a V8, it was just, direct drive style thing, and they would, have it float off the line and kick it off a stand, right? And then just hit the pavement. So I'm going to build a little stand so we get up to the line and literally just floor it, get that tire spinning, and then just drop it.
So you can
just spray the shit out of it.
The equivalent of a monkey bike neutral drop.
Yeah, pretty much.
A monkey bike neutral drop. Yes. And I'm just going to spray the living hell out of it.
Great. I think those things are they're gonna take off more than what we thought they would.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I guess the only thing I would say, could you shave off part of the head to give you less?
Definitely upgraded.
Kim did.
Yeah.
Yes,
she made a jig and everything.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you got it that precise. Would you use a chop saw?
Chop saw, some 2x4s, some wood screws. Yeah, it was
made a jig. It's like,
that was
clean too.
Yeah, it was neat. It was neat.
Build.
Like I said, when that thing came on the top end, like half track, it started moving.
It's crazy.
Shame it took that long to come on.
Up to 220 pounds, I wouldn't even want to try. I'd have to have. I was watching Blake ride that damn thing around, and I was like, "Oh no,
Wheelie bar.
I know as a kid, I was trying to get one started, and I filled the float bowl clear full of starter fluid. Yeah, those things got some power when you do that. It drug me all the way across the shop and shot up Dad's carburetor bench.
Well, that would get you out of off the line.
Yeah, it did.
Hey, that's cheaper than NOS. You just sit there and have one hand on the throttle, one hand on the spray bottle.
You know what? This isn't monkey bike, but this is go-kart related. A few years ago, few years ago, we rolled up to a friend of my mom's house, and her husband and I think his son were working on a go-kart, and they said, this is the only way we can get it started. And they had this go-kart sitting nose down in the driveway with the back end in the sky. They had the spark plug out, and they would pour gas in the spark plug hole and put the spark plug back. It's the only way we can get it started. It would lay it down and run it and then tilt it up and do it again. I'm like, you have no idea what you're doing.
And it would start?
I guess what I'm just guessing here. I never actually got to see this through. I kind of wanted to pull up a chair because it was fascinating. I'm guessing what they did is they put enough gas in it that when they laid it down and cranked it enough that eventually it would lean out from the air moving through and would start that way. And it's preposterous, but I could see it working. So basically you flood it, and then eventually you're backing into a lean enough condition for it to start, and then of course it would die because it wasn't getting fuel. They obviously didn't realize you can run it off of starting fluid if you don't have any kind of working fuel pump or anything, right? But these were people that you couldn't tell anything to. And they were hot rodders from the day. Anyway.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah.
I did have my grandma had a lawnmower, her damn push mower. You'd have to take the handle before you wanted to start it if it had been sitting, for a day or two. You had to flip it down, the handle to the ground for about 2 or 3 seconds, bring it back up, and then it would start right up. And I never figured out why, but my dad figured that out.
I wonder how long it took him to figure that out.
I have no idea, but it was some kind of old thing from back in the freaking 40s that he figured out. But this is also the same guy that thought his Briggs & Stratton with the crank up auto start was the greatest mower ever made. You had to pop this little thing over and you crank it up and push this button and it would start. That was his favorite damn mower. Yeah, we figured it out with Grandma's. You flip it down on the side, or backwards, so the blades were up, and then put it back up and fire it, and it would start right up every time.
Interesting.
But if you didn't, it would sit there and you just pull and pull and pull, and that son of a bitch never start. And I don't know why. I have no idea. But
maybe it knocks the needle loose inside the carburetor.
It may have just been lazy, didn't want to rebuild the carburetor, and it was the only way to get the damn bowl to fill up.
Well, that could be
but
too.
It was an old Lawn Boy, or the green ones. Lawn Boy? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't the 2-stroker. It was the 4-stroke, but yeah.
His kids have built a demo derby car that I went and covered that time here a few weeks ago. They couldn't keep that car running for anything, so they had a can of starting fluid with an 1/8-inch hose that ran from inside the car. Did you guys see that? I had it on the video. They had the can of starting fluid on the shifter, and they had an 1/8-inch hose that went through the firewall to the carburetor. And they actually used that.
To get him for a while.
He sprayed his buddy
That's
trying
probably
to
it, Sam.
install it, but it did work.
Well,
Wow.
whatever gets you there.
That's crazy.
Hey, you
Yeah,
can
you
get an
see the
ether
video.
injector off of a semi and put that in there. It would do the same thing.
Well, this was something that they couldn't figure out the day of the Derby. I mean, this car was built last minute, right? Like literally, you could smell the paint on this car in the pit. They painted it a couple hours before.
Well, back in the day, we didn't even paint them. Just break the windows out, duct tape the doors, and get after it.
They painted it. I don't know when they're going to run it again. Not that I've heard. I filmed that one. It was fun.
Oh, they can get a bunch of uses out of them demo cards.
I've got one demo engine that's still out there running and won the money 3 times again this year. Damn 318s.
That's right.
318s are awesome.
318 slant 6, 235 straight 6, and a 300 Ford. You can't kill that
300 Ford. You cannot kill a 300 Ford.
Well, you can, but you got to be really dumb.
You got to work at it.
Yeah,
you got to run it out of oil. You got to run it out of everything.
Yeah, you got to be a complete tool bag to do that.
Or at least put all your tools in it. If you just leave your tools in it, you might be like,
stuff it full of 10 millimeters.
Yeah,
that's where they all are anyway.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to move my workbench and I'm going to find 14 10-millimeter wrenches probably.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just upset that I have a 10 millimeter. Why do I have a 10 millimeter? I shouldn't be working on anything that takes a 10 millimeter. Of course, now my freaking motorcycle batteries, all those little nuts that go in them, 10 millimeter. So.
Jeff, is the bird going to be there next year?
It's going to be there next year. I'm going to. I've been talking to John about some things behind the scenes. I've already ordered a bunch more parts, tons of stuff. So yeah, definitely going to be there. It'll be ready by spring, and it will not be silver.
Oh, you're going to paint it?
Yeah. Well, after my little mishap with forgetting the hood pins, I got to pull that hood and do a little bit of fixing, and it's going to require a repaint. So, yeah, it's not going to be silver.
You're going to work in your paint scheme and everything with the leaf? Okay, cool.
Yeah, as long as you keep that.
Yeah, I'll work that in there.
I think I told you if you wanted a divorce, there's another 68 on Facebook Marketplace not too far from us.
Oh, man, one of you guys would have a roommate quick. I already mentioned my next project, and it's just, you know, the proverbial eye roll. You know, it's like, everyone needs a...
I got a couch if you need it.
How do y'all think I could promote this thing? I'm not married.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
I'm not either. I brought that car home. She's like, "Oh shit, you washed it. You should have left it dirty. Now I can see everything." I was like, yeah.
If they say it always looks worse than what it looks, or it's always.
Like I said, I've had that video where I say, you know, Amber don't say a word when I was working on the ambulance. As soon as I'm working on Blanche or one of the other was like, you don't spend enough time with the kids. You're outside all night, blah, blah, blah. If I was out there 24 hours on that ambulance, she wouldn't care. She'd be like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Can I drive it? She still ain't drove it.
Really?
Her damn car, yeah. I told her, take it out here and drive it around. I wanted her to take it down the track. I said, you're part of Irish Outlaw Garage. Take it down the track. I'll ride with you. No.
There you go.
What the hell? Zeppy's like, I'll ride with you. I said, I don't think they're going to let that, buddy.
I actually let my son drive my car from behind my house where he wanted to take a picture to the front of the house. I said, all right, here you go. I said, you don't have to give it much gas.
No.
Right?
And the whole entire time, John, like I have my hand on the ignition kill switch, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
how bad was your hand shaking?
Well, to me, it's like if he hits anything, it's gonna
absolutely
because there's trees, you know. But yeah, I'm like, you know, just go easy. And he's just like, and he was just like petrified. So I knew he wasn't gonna hammer, you know. And I don't know. Be honest with you, I don't know if I would let anybody drive that unless they really knew how to drive a car. You know, like really knew how to drive a car.
Hand off the keys; it'll be all right.
That's how I am with my Cutlass. It ain't really so much me not letting anybody drive my car. It's more of a thing that
you got to know how to
that thing will get away from you in a hurry. And
yeah,
that's a lot of horses.
Yeah, it's a lot of horsepower, and it is just, I mean, it gets up so quick. It's not like one of those cars that it has a highway gear where you can just hammer and it gets up to speed. No, this thing gets up to speed fast, and it's like, eh.
And in one spot if you don't know what you're doing. I've had my oldest, he drives our GT350, my Mustang. It's like a rare car. It's overbuilt. And the other day I was at the swap meet, and I grabbed the guy had a Hearse 5-speed shifter for that T5 transmission that's in it. And I put it in it, and man, it is awesome. I always wanted one. I never had one. It's just click, 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 through the gears. Today, as we was at this funeral together, this service, and he's like, Dad, that shifter is awesome. Man, I can get right through the gears. It'll burn them all through 4 gears. And, I turn into my father at that moment, and I'm just staring at him. I'm like, you going to buy the tires? No, you are. I'm like, really? And then, like 5 minutes later, I'm just like my dad. So how long can you get them burning in second, third? It instantly turned into, my dad did the same shit. He'd say, you need to quit burning them tires off, because I used Cooper Cobras. That's all I ever put on that car when I was in high school, my Mustang. And you're going through too many damn tires, and they're expensive when they were $30 a piece. Right. And he'd be like, cop would show up at the house, and my mom or my dad would answer the door, and I already got it in the garage. Keys are, on the thing, and I'm sitting in my bedroom. Jay, the cops are here again. I'm like, I don't know what his problem is. And he'd come to the door, and that cop would just, all right, now, John, Jay was out running that car again, and I'm telling you, we're going to put that thing in the impound lot if you don't stop it. And my dad would just, oh, God damn it. He'd talk to the cop, and he'd come in and start cussing at me, and 5 minutes later, he'd walk by my room and go, did you really pull the front end off the ground at the stoplight in Teotopolis? Yep, I did. Oh, damn. It's like, you really built that thing, didn't you? That kind of shit. He would come at me later until the day him and his buddy took it on a joyride for 8 hours, and I opened the door, beer cans fell out, and I had bald tires and no gas, and that's back when I had to mix the fuel. I ran Turbo Blue with 90. Back then it was 91, I think. It was still leaded. That's how long ago this is. You could still buy leaded gas. Yeah, I did the same thing to my oldest the other day. Today. He said, I was just like, well, how did it sound? Did it smoke pretty good? Yeah, it smoked great, Dad. And then I turned back into it. Well, damn it, those tires are expensive. Stop it. But,
man, I tell you what's just itching me, because I live my testing road that I test on. I want to go out and test my traction compound sprayer thing I made,
Oh, your stripper.
Yeah, and I want to go out and test that really, 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 really bad. But it's grain season, and that highway and that road I go off of is right there at Ben's. I mean, it is just semi after semi after semi after semi, and it's like, oh man.
You got grain dust on the road too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's grain dust. It's all dusty everywhere, Plus, it's just a million. Yeah, it's just a million semis out. It's like, that's not what I need to be doing. Because they let me use the scale and all that. And
I was behind one of them big tall sprayers with the tall wheels on the way out to that benefit I just did. And I was in the Javelin, and I was looking at it, and I was sitting there, I was like,
I know what you're thinking.
I could just
I bet you I could freak this guy right out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a buddy of mine was driving it, so I know he'd keep her steady. Let's try it. Get your camera out. Let's try it. Like, oh yeah, that'd be a good thing to put on YouTube. We're both, in trouble, and you're fired.
Wasn't me.
Yep.
One man in your car.
That's
Amber's
funny
got one
because
of
I knew
those.
exactly what you was talking about there before
Amber's
you even got it
got
out.
those Halloween things you can put on your antenna. These, the old cars, they still got antennas, and she swaps between the Malibu and the Javelin, like what to drive to her job. She's a head cook at a junior high, and she swaps between the two. And she bought those little skeletons you can put on the thing, so when you're going down the road, their arms and legs are out like that. And I didn't realize it was on there. So I went to this funeral today with a whole bunch of bikers, and they're like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I turn around, I was like, oh shit. It's like this damn skeleton that's the arms and legs and its mouth flops and everything when you're going down the road. Oh my God. And the Malibu's got the big long, tall automatic antenna in the back, so it's on the very back of the car. Oh my God. It's like, don't do that. You could at least warn me, because I'm not looking at the friggin' antenna before I leave. And then I'm getting the look. Like, are you, you're weird.
You're weird.
The fact that I'm driving a 74 Javelin and it's 40 degrees outside. I thought that was weird. Heat works, though. I got it working, so.
Cold start.
Oh, Lord. Cold start videos are going to start coming.
Oh, yeah. I am the biggest wussy when it comes to cold. I'm literally like back inside sitting in front of a fireplace.
I just want to be in a coma for about 3 months out of the year. That's how much I hate cold.
Oh man, I freaking hate it.
I don't understand
how
I live.
Wake me up in March.
Seriously,
I already got it.
About winter.
I'll get outside and be like, why do I live where the wind hurts my face?
Oh, I know.
Why am I here? But
We had ice on the cars this morning.
If Brian's still in the chat, upgrades for the Bird. I've ordered it, just waiting for it to show up. Is all new exhaust with cutouts, annoyingly loud, of course. A new center section, 31 spline with a spool and 488s. It's going to be a completely different transmission with a trans brake and a different converter. Triangulated uppers in the rear. Paint, and talking to John about this last night, actually, a cage. Probably a couple other
probably
things.
ain't a bad idea on that.
Yeah, that's
No,
probably
absolutely not. Not a bad idea on that card at all.
top of the list right there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I hope to see
it'll
some
definitely be a fun one.
videos. Andy's got to cage his truck too. See, that's something a lot of people don't think about. He's got to cage that truck.
Yeah.
It was already running 733 with the little 393 in it.
Well, there's not a lot of room for a cage in there. Except
No, there's not.
Yep, I was rounding one up yesterday.
I've got to redo the cage in the Dart Sport. I'm going to do that, tackle that in the spring, I think. Oh, that roll bar mess that's in there now is a disaster.
That's the nice thing about that X body out there is it's all Summit or Speedway or Speedmaster, whatever the hell it's called. They make a bolt in that you can bolt in and then weld. It's like, I don't have to. I got a guy that's pretty good. He could probably build me a nice one, but I'm just, again, budget. If I can just buy one, stick it in, maybe learn to weld better. I can weld and make it stick. It just don't look very good.
Yeah.
I get enough shit for beating up oil pans. I don't need to do it for having popcorn around my welds,
You know what? No matter how good a weld is, you'll always have some internet welding expert tell you how it wasn't good enough.
Those aren't
I don't
knives.
care what your weld is.
Yeah. I was thinking I got to find my cousin owns probably one of the biggest welding shops in Central Illinois, and I'm gonna get with him about, because I was talking about what you said on this 350 olds or 455, whatever I decide to do with it, about maybe doing fuel injection instead of carb, because there's no such thing as a fuel injection Oldsmobile intake for this, either one of them, the 350 or the 455. So I'd have to have the ports put in the intake. I got to find the right person to do it.
Why? I mean, if you have a carburetor option, why not? Why? I mean,
Go with just the throttle body.
yeah, just go with the carb.
You don't need multi-port.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. It's all new to me, and if I'm going to try it the first time, I might as well try it right.
See if you can buy one of those Holly snipers from Ryan. Now that he's figured out they don't work on his application.
Oh, them make some funny noises. It's funny as hell, man. You watch any video of like all of us in that area where all of us were, me and Austin and Buff and all that stuff, and you hear
pop,
you hear pop, and everybody go, nope. That's all you hear is nope. Then Austin put that video out yesterday, and he's like, nope.
I think all it is vacuum leak. I really do. I think that's all
what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like it was. I don't know. I've never messed around with that fuel injection stuff. I'm just thinking all my options here, and those would be easier to control with, with the sniper or something like that, telling it what it needs and what not to do and what to do. And the one thing I got to worry about is how do I route the exhaust? Because an Oldsmobile, those things are like this. So it ain't like a Chevy or a Ford or even a Pontiac. It's Oldsmobile's manifolds.
You want to route it like a Ford or like a Hemi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Are you boosting it then?
You what?
Are you boosting it? Turbo?
Oh, yeah.
Turbo boosting it?
Oh, yeah. Twins.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to. Let's just say that. That's my idea. I haven't finalized that. But I
you
found
got
a
lots
guy
of money. Go centrifugal super.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, run them both.
Yeah. with nitrous and a diesel. Make it a diesel.
Yes. Yeah.
With an exhaust cutout,
Yeah. Just
So
right
make
out
it
the hood.
About 22 to 1 and run it on peanut oil. And then you have 2 turbos and a supercharger. And
Water
spray.
injected.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've still got that. I've got spray. I've got all that.
I think you should do Roots supercharge with a centrifugal going into it, and then have your turbos on the exhaust feeding that. Then you'd have street cred.
You know what the hell would be the most expensive part of what you just said? Finding a Roots intake for an Olds. That would be like, hey,
come on, man.
This?
You
sure.
You can just poop those things out. This is the internet.
Right.
We can just do that, right?
Yeah. Make your own. It'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I got that capability on my rocks in my shitty garage. I'll just use a Sawzall. I'll just Sawzall off a torquer and
yeah.
It's
like those
blower.
TV shows. You'll make an intake in 22 minutes.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna lose the shop. We gotta make this.
You know what? Those shows.
I need to build this by this time. Let's bring in every big ass YouTuber from all over the country for nothing. Yeah, right. Nothing.
Here's what I hate about those shows, besides everything. So the show is 22 minutes, so that the sponsors can run 8 minutes of commercials, right? But then the 22 minutes of show is also all commercials.
All commercial.
In fact, the whole show is a commercial with commercial breaks. I'm like, there's no show here.
Yeah.
There is no show. It's just
I,
wrong.
And it's titled Budget Build.
Yeah.
They don't tell you whose budget, you know, it's Elon
Whose
Musk's
budget, right?
Elon
You're
Musk's
like, it's like asking somebody, say, "Are you on a diet?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on T-Rex's diet." This is a budget build. It's Bill Gates' budget, but it's a budget build.
I was emailing with a YouTuber about some stuff. I won't mention who it was, but he was on Motor Trend, and he was building, reviving a Pontiac with the old 6-cylinder in it. We'll just say that if you've watched the show, you know who I'm talking about. And the only thing I asked him is, where the hell did you find a 4-bale intake for that Pontiac 6-cylinder? And he says, I don't know where they found it. That's what he said. And I was like, okay. Well, where does that fit into where did you find a 4-barrel intake for that Pontiac motor? I can't remember the size of it, but I've seen a couple of them. I've never seen one with a 4-barrel intake, but yet you found one with a 4-barrel. You found a 4-barrel intake and a header system for this car. Oh yeah, they make them. Where?
It was in the
I'd love
trunk,
to see one.
right?
It was just in the
Well, I
trunk.
know for the Mopar 6 stuff, Clifford Performance out of Australia does a
Right.
ton of it, but you pay out the ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
But yeah, I was like, where in the hell do you find this? And I remember, oh yeah, it's Motor Trend, because on his regular channel, he would never find something like that. You know, it was some weird name. It wasn't even I'd never heard the name of it. He said the name of it, but I was like, I've never heard a thing like that. I've heard of what Jeff's talking about because I got that Slant 6 out here. They make
all
stuff
kinds
for
of
that.
stuff for that.
And it may be the same company. I don't know. But
Through Aussie Speed or something like that.
yeah, something like that. It's weird, but yeah, that was the only thing I said. I said, you guys skipped a whole bunch of stuff that you did. Oh, all of a sudden it just runs. Well, that doesn't help me. And then you can see where they make the breaks for the commercial for Motor Trend TV, you know, for the channel. It's like, oh my God, if you're trying to watch an hour show, it's probably only a 15-minute show with 45 minutes of commercials. And I'm like, yeah, I don't
do commercials much nowadays.
Gentlemen, I got to head out like the one-eyed cat.
It's getting
it's
late.
pushing 1 here in the east.
I knew when BareRose got on. I knew we was going to be on here for hours.
I missed last week, so you know.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I haven't been able to do much, so.
Yeah, it sure has.
See you, John.
See y'all.
Great seeing you, John. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Don, always great.
Thanks, BareRose, for having us.
See you, man.
No problem.
And then there were 2 and a black screen with a white head. So in other words,
yeah, it's me.
Yeah. Where are you doing? Probably laying in bed, aren't you?
No, I'm actually literally sitting in front of a fireplace right now. I was out in the garage working on shit, but I'm literally sitting at
Fireplace. It's not even December.
I am the biggest wuss ever when it comes to cold weather, and I split a lot of firewood. And I tell you what, my fireplace from like now until probably in March will be going.
I can't say much. I got the door closed on my glassed-in porch, and I got the infrared right on my legs. It's a little chilly out. Supposed to be like what, 42 Monday and Tuesday?
Oh Lord, we're in the 20s.
Actually, man, I just found out yesterday I'm actually going to be working up there by you basically all winter.
I'm
not going to have to. That central part right there, Champaign to, all across there. I've been getting further and further over that way. I'm actually in Piatt County right now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working in Piatt County on a bridge. Like right, I'm trying to think of right where it's at.
Piatt County?
No, it's Piatte, Piatt County. It's right by Atwood, Illinois, north of Atwood.
Oh, you're talking to Jeff. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. The hell, if I was working out by you, what would I do it here?
I was thinking, wow.
Yeah, I won't take my trucks to them mountains. Sorry. I got it.
Yeah,
I got good jake brakes and all, but no.
Then you said Payette, and I was like, or Payette, and we have
Yeah.
a place here called Payette, and it's right at the base of Hell's Canyon. And yeah, that's brutal country out there.
Yeah, no. I don't even want to know.
It's definitely brutal that way.
But no, I'm going to be working up there in that mess in Champaign probably all winter, like snow flying and all.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I hate these things. I hate the wind towers, but they're going up everywhere that way, and all the way over by Jimmy's. And
yep.
I mean, literally everywhere. And they're an absolute eyesore. I hate them. I'm not going to get into it, but like I was heading to Jimmy's Friday, and they're starting to the entryways, grading those out and gravel. I mean, everywhere.
Yeah, I hauled rock into there. I think we talked about that one other time.
Yeah.
I was doing rock into there, and it's a mess. My freaking sinuses is killing me.
Well, I was heading to Rantoul today, and going down 136, and right when you get to the Farmer City exit off 136, which, if for anybody listening, it's an old 2-lane highway, and all of a sudden, right there, roadblock. And what it was is one of the semis for that was hauling blades, and it tipped over.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the windmills. I'm not a fan. I'm not against the technology and trying to get it to where you're not using so much crap to make electricity, but nobody takes care of them, man. If you go buy them now, like the ones over east of Rantoul, they're black. The tops of them are black. They only got one or two guys going through that whole field, trying to maintain them all.
Well, my buddy that's got the speed shop, that's what he did, and he was like a foreman, and it was just less and less people, and he was telling me just the absolute nightmares of those things, and he's like, nope.
I saw one catch on fire up there by Dwight. I was driving down the road. I got video of it somewhere. I was driving by Dwight, Illinois, up by Morris and all that, and this one was on fire, and it was out of control, man. It was spinning so fast, and the hotter it got, the more it wobbled, like a bad blade on the front of an engine. And evidently, I didn't catch it, but one of the wings just went flying off, and I'm like, yeah, that's good. Hopefully, it don't land in somebody's damn, in somebody's living room. Of course, there wouldn't be nothing left of the house, but it melted that sucker all the way down. 3 weeks later, they already had a new tower section and a freaking motor on it. They were already putting the new, and I imagine the farmers around there be like, I didn't sign up for that. That come awful close, and it was like literally right down the road from a farm. So, yeah, they're not maintaining them around here like they would out west, where there's big wide open deserts, and I'm sure they
same thing. When I come across Wyoming, same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
When one catches fire, there was one of us no-name guys had a short of one catching fire, didn't it?
Yeah, that was.
I seem to remember that.
There was something. I put a video out on like my Facebook or Instagram or something like that, but that was 2 years ago. I don't know.
Well, everybody, I think I better call it. I'm about to fall asleep here.
Yeah, I need to get in. I'm gonna get up.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got a bunch of garage work due tomorrow, and
my eyes are still sunburnt. Coming across Wyoming. Oh Lord.
Yeah, going.
How many miles did it end up being?
Let's see. It's still on the wife's car. It's like 30, 36 something or something like that. I got a picture of it somewhere.
But that's going all the way to
Man,
Memphis
that had
and
to have
everything,
just.
right?
Yeah.
Nashville.
So,
Not to
I mean, how many
Nashville. We
hours
didn't
were
make
you?
it there.
What was your
We
seat
broke
time?
it up every 8 hours or so.
Yeah.
We'd stop. I'm too
I didn't
old to
think
go too far.
Yeah, you know what? When I used to travel a lot for race stuff and all that, I mean, 20 hours was kind of my limit. But it's when you're young and stupid, right?
Oh Lord,
And
yeah.
now
Driver.
now it's 15, 16. You know, I try to break it up. Like I went down to Florida in July. I stopped at Arts for a few hours and stayed at a hotel in that area, a little bit south. And it's it's a lot more difficult when you got like kids and shit in the car. You know.
Yeah. I used to leave here, go to Vandalia. Jeff knows what I'm talking about. I'd
Oh
leave
yeah.
Effingham, go to Vandalia. I'd pick up at Vandalia. I'd go all the way to Tifton, Georgia, unload, go to Nahunta, Georgia, load up half my load, then go to where the hell was it? South Carolina somewhere, load up the rest, and then I'd drive all the way home, and I'd do that all on one. I'd never slept. I did that whole thing. It was like the whole week, 3,200 or some. It was a lot of miles.
Oh yeah.
And once in a while, I'd take a power nap in the dock, but they'd load me so fast I just keep going. If I tried to do that now, I'd run off the road. I'd probably have a damn
Yeah.
heart attack.
Yeah,
I
like
couldn't do it
nowadays, it's
now.
like I try to do like 10. You
Yeah.
know, it's like not really worth it. When you're
It's a
young and
lot easier
stupid,
to
you can
do
just
in a
keep
truck,
trucking.
though.
Heck
In a
yeah.
semi, it's a lot easier. In my car, I couldn't do it. I couldn't have done it. That just doing the power tour thing in the Javelin wore me the frig out every day. I was done. I was like,
Oh, I could see that.
and that thing rode nice. So, but I think I am going to call it. I need
Me
to
too.
edit too. I
Yeah.
should go in and edit, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
way
got like 3
behind.
of them. I still got to edit and throw out.
Yeah, I've got all my right before No Name Nationals. I've still got power tour stuff.
Oh shit! You
I
better get that uploaded.
But the 12 hours a day, then coming home and going directly under that friggin' car and trying to get ready, I couldn't do it. And the thing
Right.
I did with the little junkyard walk, that was quick and easy. The thing I got today is quick and easy, but I need to get the other ones out because I need to find a good bleep because I don't want to overdo it. I get to cussing pretty good, and I don't want to overdo it. But especially right up to the point where I leave for No Name Nationals, I was pissed. That's the easiest way to say it. That's why whenever we bring it up, even Austin said it in his video the other day. He goes, "Yeah, he was going to bring. This is part 2. He was going to bring the Ranchero, but we're not going to talk about that." I said, "Yeah, we're not going to talk about that." That's I don't fail very often. That was a big one. So I don't like to fail. That's just it. But I'm gonna head on inside. I'm glad I got home in time to get on.
It's great having you,
I
man.
was,
As always.
yeah, I like coming on. We don't do it as much now since it's all over. We're like, okay, now what are we doing?
Well, the other part is too is you
It's
watch how
starting
the
again.
weather's it's starting again because the weather's getting crap. Like I had like no time for lives at all this summer, but now it's like, oh, weather crap. I got more time to do that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do some lives in the garage this winter, just working on engines. Everybody just doing something in their shop in the cold outside, and I'll just,
That's
you
when
know,
people are watching.
yep,
Now is prime time starting for watch hours.
yep. Starting to put out some stupid stuff. That's what I need to do. People are inside freezing. They can pull on their. I go, this guy's nuts. Want to subscribe? I want to watch all this stuff.
Hey, you got an Oldsmobile oil pan now.
Yeah.
I bet you could double them views.
Yeah. Yeah. That little video I made today didn't do too bad in its first little. Yeah, had like 1,500 in like the
Not
first
bad.
20 minutes. That's that other one with that oil pan though. That didn't take off till like a week later. I mean, that was just like out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, I got 2,000 views, yay! And I was like, I got 75,000 views. What the hell is that? Then your dog's ugly and and I'm like, yay, I got it.
You're gonna
But
kill us all.
yeah, it's like, should I start wearing, hey, Whistling Diesel, you got an extra vest? 'Cause I just beat up a Pontiac oil pan, and my God. But
Oh, I don't know you. Stop calling.
yeah, stop calling, you son of a bitch. He'll be yelling at me, you asshole, you beat up that original. It's not original, it was Amazon. Well, what are you doing using Amazon junk, you Chinesium? You can't win. But anyway, I'm gonna head inside.
Prank call. Stop calling me. I don't know you.
Yep. But I'm gonna head on inside. Might
All right,
sit around.
You guys have a good night then. I'm going to go crash out because I got a full day of work tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's great seeing you, Jeff. Great seeing you, Jay.
You too.
Later, gentlemen.
See ya.
And everybody that's left in the chat, it was totally awesome. Hey, Lars, good to see you tonight. Steven, yeah, those were long, hard miles. And even though you lost oil pressure, you still made it, and I didn't. That is saying something. Sam at White Trash, everybody, thanks for coming. And we'll do this again next week after we get out there and get some of that metal hot. Till then, we'll see y'all next.